skull drug by Georgia.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they were unranked.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're asking LSU to do what TCU did, which those aren't like programs, obviously.
Well, I mean, a couple of things. LSU, first of all, they got a really difficult schedule. The defense is getting better under Blake Baker, but it's not where LSU expects their defense to be. And then you're, revamping the entire offensive line.
See, that's the whole thing. I gave you guys Garrett Nussmeier's stats from last year, and I'm like, how many of those numbers will he actually improve? And you guys both were like, I don't know that he'll improve any of them. So then it comes to that defense.
They have 7 ranked teams on the schedule right now. Now, I don't think Arkansas and Vanderbilt will end up being ranked at any point, but I don't know if any of those 7 are going to drop off.
Urology Centers of Alabama brings you 2 inside Alabama football numbers I want you to know about. Urology Centers of Alabama will stay on top of your numbers, whether it's prostate health, the kidney.
Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Wednesday show, we'll get to our sneaky good games coming up later in our spotlight. Sneaky good meaning maybe they're off the beaten path, but we think you should watch them or pay attention to them coming up in week 1. We do that every week, part of our spotlight. If I was a mascot at Colorado, I'd be out of work today. I'll tell you why. I have something in common with Ralphie Six. That is now not going to be there for the opener. We'll get to that. And all your college football news, you'll hear from both quarterbacks, Alabama and Auburn starting quarterbacks, in this opening segment here. But my phone started blowing up the moment I left the Blue Lake Center yesterday. People saying, God, I wish this had dropped while you were on the air.
I kind of did too.
Because you're such a huge fan, and it's one of maybe Lance's worst predictions of all time. I'm not sure Lance is going to back off of this, even after the official engagement yesterday of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
You got to take the
Well,
L.
I think they've both been in very volatile relationships all their lives. So let's see if they get married.
You got to take the L on this one at some point.
I mean, look, I really don't care.
Then take your.
I still believe in the conspiracy.
Yeah, I really don't care.
So even them walking, you care. You've been very passionate about this.
No.
I
was more
business
passionate about how the NFL was fixing Kansas City's games.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now that gets me to what I wanted to set up here for you. I do not believe that anything is fixed or anything like that. But if you're a Taylor Swift fan, I have a Taylor Swift tattoo. Love her. This is the reason it's so important to me. It was the first artist I introduced to my daughter and first concert she went to, and we share the Taylor Swift love. Blowing up the phone yesterday, Harper and I. Even called. We sat there and talked about it. She came over to the house.
It is weird how excited people get about people's engagement, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been moments in time, Elvis and Beatles and things like that. So let's don't downplay the passion of so many fans, especially little girls.
No, I'm not talking about
Swift.
like going to see a concert. I'm talking about how people get excited about people getting engaged.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important
Big
moment in life for people.
Yeah, for those people getting engaged.
Yeah. Well, if you care about other people and you love them, you can be excited for other people's joy. Anyway, back to the NFL part. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, when she announced her new album, everyone was like, a lot of hidden Easter eggs, that she is going to be the halftime show at the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. Day and a half ago, 2 different stories, NFL.com, ESPN, talking about the Chiefs players wanting to send future Hall of Famer Travis Kelce out on a high note. Many people in the locker room believe this is his last year to play competitive football, and he'll go off to be a media icon or whatever he's going to be. But they were all talking, we need to send TK out on top, send him out like the legend he is.
Doesn't have enough rings.
Talking about being a Super Bowl champion. He doesn't have enough rings.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
And then now, so you got Swift in the Super Bowl halftime. Kelce's last year. It's an engagement that has been announced. And you already brought it up. How many people, if the Chiefs work their way into Super Bowl 60, are going to be talking about a conspiracy of these games being fixed to get there? If there are close calls, controversial plays along the way, this will be a storyline to watch every week. Oh, did you see the flag Mahomes guide? They're trying to make sure the Chiefs are, in the get a good seed for the playoffs.
Yeah, but last time we talked about that, in fact, you were in on like they're going to get every call, and then I can't even remember the game it was, but then you had to come back the next Monday, and you're like, hey, by the way, I watched the game. They really got calls against them. I can't remember what game that was, but you were already playing that conspiracy even before the engagement or the Super Bowl halftime. And then what game was it? It was a big game. And you were like, listen, they are going to get every call. Then we had to come back the next Monday and say, actually, there are a few key calls that went against them.
Yeah.
If the NFL was in on the conspiracy, somebody
I remember that.
Somebody didn't get the memo.
This is just, look, we get a lot of one-possession games in the NFL, but for a team to go 11-0 in one-possession games, that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Almost impossible.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah. So that's interesting storyline. Everybody reacting yesterday. And listen, in the old days, when you would have an announcement like this, then quickly you'd see a Taylor Swift interview on Good Morning America.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Or the Today Show, or there'd be a special conversation with Barbara Walters. The money they are going to make or can make if they just do the release, an interview, them talking about the engagement on their own platforms. And then we were talking about this on the golf course yesterday, and this made it into old man's foursome on the golf course yesterday. My buddy Jay Orr said, just was talking to my wife, it would melt the internet if they broadcast their wedding live and on one of their platforms. Like I would imagine TV networks would pay a bundle to broadcast it live, like a royal wedding.
Would you watch it?
I would watch it with my daughter. Absolutely, I would. 100%. I'm not ashamed of that. Would it? It's royal wedding-esque as far as American viewers. The networks pay a lot of money to broadcast things that would get half of the ratings.
I don't know. Outside of the Super Bowl, honest to goodness, outside of the Super Bowl, I don't know what else you could put on that would get those ratings.
I think there was an obligation with the royal weddings, though. How many people really want their wedding to be broadcast?
Yeah. No, you're right. There's an obligation.
It's not like
for that.
Taylor Swift needs the money. By the way, I guarantee he's going to be signing a prenup.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have a lot of, she's got a lot of assets, but she spent a lot of her money to buy back all of her masters recently.
She'll make that back. I got a pretty good feeling.
Yeah. Well, just the masters themselves is enough collateral. She could go get a huge line of credit if she wanted to. She could go, eventually she could sell those to somebody else who would make a bundle.
I still think she's worth $1 billion.
But to me, the absolute ratings gold is if, Fox or CBS or NBC, ABC, Netflix, any of them went out if they wanted to. Taylor and Travis, they don't need the money. They probably wouldn't sell the rights to it. And you're right, the Royals, I think by historical reasons, maybe by law, I don't know, they have to be married in public. They used to do it in the old days so the people could get a glimpse and celebrate and have a holiday.
Yeah.
The way it was on Game of Thrones when there was a wedding, it was like a holiday. All the riffraff got to come inside the walls.
It is. I think it is national holiday over there.
Yeah. So, but just imagine the numbers. I'm with you, Brent. Other than these actual Super Bowl,
I don't know what else you could do.
I think that would be the second highest number.
If man landed on Mars, I don't think it would have anywhere near the same impact as the original moon landing. Like if we legitimately landed on Mars and it was airing on live TV, I just don't think it would have that same feel where all the world gathered around.
I would agree. There's too much on TV now.
Yeah, I really don't think it would.
I probably would watch it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be excited about it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Because
I'd watch man landing on Mars. Yeah. I just don't think people would gather. There were only 3 channels at the time, and every channel was showing.
But as a kid, I was more intrigued by Jimmy Hoffa's or Al Capone's vault.
Yeah.
But I would tell you, I remember this because we were running their social media account for a while at the Redmont downtown. Remember what a big deal how everybody made just about that one, like it was a big eclipse. Like it was one of those middle of the day complete solar eclipse, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the ones we don't get very often.
Yeah, I mean, people drove to the, whatever.
The Polygon.
Whatever it was.
Whatever
I think
it was.
that's a tornado. Yeah.
And to get into the right site. But I remember what a big deal that was around the country. I mean, the Mars landing would still be big, but you're right.
Yeah.
Too many choices. We had 3 channels, and it was on every channel. People watched it. We'd have better cameras this time around.
And it probably wouldn't be fake, right?
Yeah. Probably would. I don't know.
I doubt that one more than I doubt the moon landing.
Yeah, I mean, moon landing, Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce getting married.
All right. So the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce announcement, the Breakline breaking news from post show yesterday. It gets us into Breakline. We'll do a little college football. Hear from the quarterbacks coming up. Connor O'Gara in the next segment. Breakline right now.
Yeah, that's right. BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. Code TNR30 gets you 30% off your initial order. These are great-looking sunglasses that are made to last. They're going to withstand the elements for the trips to the lake, the beach, the river, the pool, out playing golf, hunting, whatever the case might be. These lenses are indestructible. We took them out behind our building, pounded against the asphalt with a hammer, a rubber mallet, and could not break those things. Could not break them. And right now you can save on your order using code TNR30. TNR30 when you go to BreaklineOptics.com. Look great at the stadium this college football season with Breakline Optics. BreaklineOptics.com. They'll be out at the kickoff party coming up tomorrow night at Walk-On's 280, and they will have some of their gear to display there so you can see all the stuff from Breakline Optics. BreaklineOptics.com. That is BreaklineOptics.com.
According to some services that I get the information, Alabama minus 13.5 at MyBookie.ag on the road at Florida State is the largest road favorite of the opening weekend. I don't know if that works out true, but that's one of the biggest. According to this person here that sends me information each week, I think you get the same email, LT. Alabama, largest road favorite of the week.
Looking through it right now. I think that is correct.
13.5 on the road at a Power 4 conference team.
I mean, something to look at. I mean, teams in week 1 typically don't play on the road, good teams.
Yeah.
Good teams usually don't play on the road.
So, I mean, when you get a double-digit favorite on the road, that's a big number.
Yeah. And if they do play on the road, it's usually a marquee matchup like LSU, LSU, Clemson, Texas.
Mississippi State is close. I do think Brown inflated his number yesterday with Southern Miss.
Well, it was 13.5 when I did it yesterday. What is it now?
I mean, I've seen 11.5 all summer.
I did too, and then
I'll tell you right now.
Typical Brand. Dunaway can attest to this. Well, the Brown Bandit had come in here early to do the drawing. Always have to
I didn't want to
keep
call
the
you out because you were
separate.
struggling so much last year.
But Dunaway will attest to this. I said, Brown Bandit says he's going Southern Miss. We had it at 11.5 on the show yesterday. I refreshed my book. I was like, holy crap, that's jumped all the way to 13.5.
And I said, you're on the wrong side, Brownie.
I said, I'll let the Brown Bandit know, Jim.
Yeah.
He is on the wrong side.
Yeah.
I do like the side you're on, but that would be the only other game in question, and it is 13.5. So
yeah, it jumped up. Now, Lance, that jumped up 2 points overnight for some reason. You tell me why.
I don't know. But both of those are 13.5.
Yeah, so 13.5. But Alabama at Florida State in a major game, largest one. These 3 teams have switched favorites since the initial release of the lines. Temple, UMass, Temple a favorite now, nobody cares. TCU now the favorite over North Carolina, and that number continues to get bigger. I mean, at one point, North Carolina was the favorite. Now TCU's the favorite. Last I saw it, it was like 3.5.
Yeah, TCU, a 3.5 favorite. They jumped as a favorite and have stayed that way for a very, very long time.
You know, for a minute, both TCU and North Carolina had the same win totals, and I know we're talking about Big 12 to ACC, but that is an interesting number for it to creep up, and you just wonder. There's been a lot of leakage in the Chapel Hill camps on a lot of different things. You just wonder if things aren't as good as a lot of people believe. And what's so fascinating about this is not only seeing Belichick on the sideline, but is it a one-and-done situation? Like, I think most people you talk to are like, he's probably going to coach this year and he's done.
We said that about Deion Sanders, who's going into year 3.
But we did know that.
They only said it because of 2 years because of the kids, and now he's back.
Belichick doesn't have any kids play.
No,
he doesn't.
He's got one coaching, though. I mean,
He's got one cheering him on the sidelines.
I don't know why he's doing it to start with. So it wouldn't shock me. I agree with you. But, boy, it's a lot of effort to come back and do this 1 year.
I don't think it's a one and done.
To not do it for a couple of years and try to have a magical year there.
The only way it would be one and done is if it's like, you guys remember what a disaster Urban Meyer with the Jaguars was?
Yes.
Like something like that. But remember, there was a lot of off-field things that caught up with Urban, too.
Yeah, he would probably need an NFL offer to be a quick bailout to get out of this. Largest spread, several different ones, but as far as a named team, Penn State's like 44.5 against Nevada. A lot of 1.5s there, like Oregon State and California. Oregon State's 1.5. Also, at Texas, Ohio State line, Brownie.
And Lance, Dunaway and I were talking about this before the show overnight. Now, it's only half a point. You tell me how big a deal that is on a primo game, but it dropped half a point. It has been Ohio State favored 2 for a very long time. This morning at MyBookie.ag, I can get Texas catching just 1.5.
Yeah, but there's still books that have got Ohio State 2.5.
2.5. So it goes anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5.
Yeah.
What would that, if it dropped across the board half a point?
I think that's
that
just
big a deal?
That's just more money. I think the public money and the smart money both are on Texas.
Public and smart.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you get the public and smart together?
You run as a contrarian. What do you do?
What do you do there?
Well, I mean, the money's almost split anyway. It's just a really difficult game. I mean, I've talked about it all summer. I don't have a feel for this game.
So you just stay away from that.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's 11 o'clock game too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We can't do those.
Couple of teams we saw this first weekend. The betting odds not going for them. Fresno State, who did not look good in their game against Kansas.
Nope.
Georgia Southern, traveling all the way out from the Sun Belt to play at Fresno State, is the favorite in that game.
I'm not really surprised. I mean, Georgia Southern with Clay Helton. I mean, a lot of people believe in the Sun Belt. They're going to be one of the better teams this year.
Yeah.
And Fresno with E.J. Warner did not look good.
He did not. And then there's Hawaii, and I would imagine that's the biggest mover on the board, has moved 7 points, a full touchdown, in favor of Arizona. And I would imagine word is leaking out that after playing on adrenaline and hobbling around, the quarterback injury is going to impact Hawaii quite a bit.
That was why that number moved. The Hayda kid, it's such an unknown. When you watched him in the fourth quarter against Stanford, he really was on one leg. And what's interesting here is Arizona coming off a bad season. Brian Brennan is your number one coach to be fired first this year.
I mean, just a side note on that game. I don't know how many people care about Stanford football. Got to be few. But, boy, if you're a Stanford fan, you're like, not only do we lose to Hawaii, we lost to a quarterback that can't even play the next week. I mean, he was hurt so bad he can't even go against Arizona. How much worse does that loss look now for Stanford?
Bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad to begin with, but it looks even worse now.
All right, we'll talk some more lines and things as we move through sneaky games and a lot more. All of that brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. The show also being brought to you today by our friends at the Pan Store. They're game day ready, and they're ready to get you ready for the game day for this upcoming weekend. They're your game day headquarters. Guys, you can choose from Alabama and Auburn polos and hats and quarter zips and more. They can ship them anywhere. So if you don't have a Pan Store near you, and they're all over the place, Huntsville and Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, all over the place. But if you don't have one near you, just go to panstore.com, panstore.com for the Bama, Auburn polos, hats, quarter zips, famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pan Store. And, of course, ladies, they can get you game day ready head to toe. White sneaker platforms and fall boots. If you need a romper or a perfect dress, they've got that for you as well. Pan Store has you covered. Pan Store has tons of clear purses as well for security. Free alterations, free gift wrapping as well. Zip on down to the Pan Store or shop panstore.com for all your game day needs. And our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa as well.
Hey, again, the week one of the football season about to kick off. You are going to be on that couch all fall long, Saturdays and Sundays. You want to take care of the wife or girlfriend. You want to be out of the doghouse before you actually get in it. I'll tell you what would work for you. A gift card from our friends at the Woodhouse Day Spa. You can stop in, see Stuart and the great staff located right there at the Summit Shopping Centers. Beautiful location. Or you can shop 24/7 online. Buy those gift cards. They'll send them right to you. Birmingham birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Let them choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the skincare, the waxing, the body treatments, the massages, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, stop into the Summit Shopping Centers or online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
All right, so CBS Sports, I was reading a story there that one insider close to Alabama calls the Ty Simpson quarterback feel around Tuscaloosa as deal or no deal. Like, you could open up the briefcase, it could be $1 million. You could open up the briefcase, and it could be $10 million. They just don't know what's in the briefcase yet. Now, if you watch Deal or No Deal, $1 million or $10 million, you're pretty good there. So you've done well.
Yeah, you're fine.
So they feel good about the quarterback situation. They just don't know if they got $1 million briefcase yet or a $10 million briefcase yet. I know you guys talk to some Alabama insiders all the time and have a feel for Ty Simpson. I've never heard anything negative coming out from Ty Simpson. Before we hear from the Bama quarterback, what do you think we're getting in the Alabama QB, old number 15 there?
Jake Coker, Greg McElroy, not a lot of flash, but a lot of skill around him. Very good offensive line.
What about you?
I think, don't mishear, I think it's got some Mac Jones feel to it. Now, don't mishear that. Mac Jones had a record-setting, almost Heisman Trophy-winning year. I am not saying that.
I'm following you right now because everyone's talking about quick decision-making, quick reads.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's going to have Mac Jones stats. In fact, when we compared him as a quarterback, I thought he most favorably compared to Blake Sims. The reason I bring up Mac, if you want to use an Alabama quarterback, the reason I bring up Mac Jones is I think Mac Jones almost – you guys try to remember back. It almost felt like Mac Jones was only starting because he was the guy that was there.
Oh, yeah, because he'd waited
his turn, and you didn't know. I don't know about this Bryce Young kid. Can he go right away? He's a freshman.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot to ask to throw him out there. Right after Tua Tagovailoa. Let's wait and see. But this guy's been here. He's a comfortable blanket. We can use him to stay warm until Bryce is ready to go. That was the feel around Mac Jones. That's not the way I felt, but it was the feel around Mac Jones for a lot of people. And there's not an obvious Bryce Young unless you want to consider Keelan Russell that, which that's fine if you do. He's a Gatorade National Player of the Year. You'd be well within your rights to feel that way. But I just think a lot of people feel like Ty Simpson, or there's a feel that Ty Simpson's only starting because Ty Simpson's been there a little while. And he's kind of earned that right. And let's see what the old kid can do. And if he can play way above his head, he can keep the job. I don't think that's true, but I think that's a feel around
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I brought up the Mac Jones thing, or we all brought it up a few different times, but it's preposterous to think that Ty Simpson can put up those numbers.
And again, I am not saying that.
Yeah,
I want to be abundantly clear. Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to dial it back. I don't know if you'll get elite quarterback play. I don't know if you've got to get elite quarterback play. I mean, going back to what all the coaches said, he didn't turn the football over in fall camp. That's really all you need.
That's what I go back to. Yeah. Everything I hear is quick decision-making, and he makes the right decision. Quick release, quick decision-making, decisions.
I think sometimes we forget this kid was a top 30 national player. He was a 5-star. He was a top 5 or 6 quarterback in his recruiting class.
Coach's son.
And even beyond all that, a guy named Nick Saban, who I think's pretty good in talent evaluations, you guys can disagree with me, looked at this kid and said, yes.
Yeah, exactly right. Speaking of Nick Saban, here's Ty Simpson, who actually wanted to have a conversation with Nick Saban before he started his first game at Alabama.
I talked to Coach Saban here recently, and I asked him the same question. I was like, what do I need to tell myself going into a game like this on just, how to not get so anxious, how to not, get nervous, how to not make it bigger than what it is. And he was just like, hey, just play within yourself. Make sure that you, keep your team out of negative plays and negative drives. And, he always said that if you end the drive with a punt, a kick, a PAT, a field goal, or a punt, then you're in good shape and you're not dead in the water. So I'm taking that approach of just making sure hey, I'm going to make sure that I march down the field and do everything I can to move the ball forward and not go backwards.
Ty Simpson, after practice yesterday, getting ready for his first start, and then there's Jackson Arnold of Auburn as he gets ready. Now it's the helmet tells you Alabama has a historically tougher game. But reality is Auburn is playing a reworked Baylor roster. Baylor's slow getting into the NIL game, but they've now changed it. They were slow in the approach of the NIL era. Now they're fully in, and their roster has changed for Dave Aranda in the last 18 to 24 months. So it's Dave Aranda's best roster top to bottom since he's been at Baylor. That's what Auburn's walking into. Expectations are high for Auburn. But we've seen so much bad Jackson Arnold. I'll ask you guys the same question. What do you think we're getting in Jackson Arnold before his first start?
I don't know where his confidence is right now. I mean, obviously, going back to, you were talking about Saban's, such a great talent evaluator. Everyone wanted Jackson Arnold coming out of high school.
Another Gatorade National Player of the Year, like I mentioned with Keelan Russell, yeah.
And you brought up, and I thought it was a pretty good analogy yesterday with David Carr and how he was beaten and battered that first year with the Texans, and he never recovered from it. And you just wonder, complete change of scenery, but how different is it going to be for Jackson Arnold? I feel like Jackson's going to be good. I think he is the second best quarterback playing Friday night in Waco, though, on that field. Sawyer Robertson is a better quarterback, but I think Jackson Arnold's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see more on him, I think, than most. I think a lot of people feel like all Jackson Arnold's issues were offensive line and hurt receiver related. And getting a better offensive line, which Auburn will have, and better receivers that are healthy, which Auburn will have, is going to fix everything. I'm not on that boat just yet. And I'll admit when I'm wrong. But right now, I'm not a believer that Jackson Arnold's going to tear it up.
I do. So you're telling me you believe Sawyer Robertson is a better quarterback than Jackson Arnold?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still think when we're back here on Labor Day, you will tell me the same thing?
I remember you and I had this discussion last year with Peyton Thorne and Fernando Mendoza.
I do remember that,
Yeah, I will stick by this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me to circle back to that on Monday.
Well, if Sawyer Robertson outplays him, you won't have to be reminded. The only way you'll have to be reminded is maybe the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with Lance.
Sawyer Robertson tore it up second half of the season. I know you're going to say it was Big 12, but he has Big 12 offensive line and Big 12 skill around him.
Playing against an SEC team this time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's maybe the best defense you'll see all year.
But this is a middling SEC team.
Do you think, in your belief, that like a big gap, like Sawyer's going to have an enormous amount of stats?
No. I mean, look, it's hard to get really. Like, I think we've got a good sample size of Sawyer Robertson. It's hard to get one with Jackson Arnold. Like, it's not fair. Like, I believe he's going to be good, but, I mean, there's no way that I can say Jackson Arnold is better than Sawyer Robertson right now.
No.
I mean, that's
Based
like
on
saying,
what?
it's like saying Arch Manning is better than Lenoris Sellers.
You think he might be, but I haven't seen enough to know that.
You hadn't seen enough.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of Sawyer Robertson last year, and I thought he was really, really good. Again, Big 12 to SEC is much different, but this is one of the better teams in the Big 12 against one of the middling teams right now in the SEC. Could completely flip. Auburn could win 10 games this year. Baylor could go 5-7. Jackson
Arnold on starting the season with a big game on the road in Waco. Here's the Auburn quarterback yesterday.
It's awesome, and it's a lot different than playing, a lesser opponent. You would say week one. There's a lot more at stake, but at the same time, you have all off season to prepare, all summer to prepare. And for me, I like these challenges week one. It sets the tone for our team and for our season. So I'm super grateful for this opportunity.
All right, Connor O'Gara coming up in the next segment here. That's a little run around the league with a couple of things going on. Quarterbacks talking yesterday in both Tuscaloosa and Auburn. When we come back, we'll talk to Connor about a variety of different things. Later on, other than our sneaky good game, maybe the one list this offseason I saw that I didn't quite understand. The USA Today's 25 most powerful people in college football. None of us are on it, but
Grumpy Greg, I bet is.
I would hope.
Greg Sankey's on there. Donald Trump is on there. Nick Saban's on there.
Okay.
And not in the order you think they should be. Show being brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. Brownie, tell us about Central State Bank.
I will do just that, Jim Dunaway. A bank that is big enough to serve you and all of your needs, but still small enough to know you because they're a great community bank.
Here's what they want to do, too, or reward your kid for smart grades. You like to do that? They want to do it, too. Smart grades deserve smart rewards. At Central State Bank, helping you and celebrate young achievers and help them save for the future one day at a time is what Central State Bank is doing. So open a Young Savers account today, and when the report card rolls in, send it on over. Your student could earn up to $10 for those A's and B's. Banking that celebrates hard work and builds lifelong habits. Family-owned, community-focused. It is Central State Bank, member FDIC.
And our friends at Walk-Ons as we get ready for the kickoff party happening tomorrow night. It's the 5th annual season kickoff at our friends at Walk-Ons on Highway 280, brought to you by Bud Light and Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. But Walk-Ons always with such great foods, from the burgers to the salads. They got bone-in and not bone-in wings for the football viewing. Unbelievable beer selection all over, on tap. I'm just going to guess. They've got 60 beers or more on tap at all the Walk-Ons. We're at the Highway 280 location just in Tattersall Park. There tomorrow night. There's also a great Walk-Ons, Highway 150 in Hoover, just off I-459, and the great one in Trussville. Walk-Ons, perfect for this football season.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Never miss anything from The Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of The Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making The Next Round a big part of your day.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Connor O'Gara standing by as we work our way to more college football conversation. Before Brandon tells us about Bojangles, 4 o'clock Central Time today, before then, is when we need to have the Fox YouTube TV thing fixed. I have a feeling that we'll get this fixed before 4 o'clock today.
I've had so many mixed, like when you tried to describe this yesterday, there are a lot of people that believe because it's locally owned, there's going to be zero problems.
I don't think that's the case. I think if you'll go look at Jonathan Hardison on social media, it looks like Fox 6 will get caught in the middle of this. So there's no guarantee that in Birmingham you're safe. So you want it to get worked out just to take any doubt off the board. Bojangles reminds you from sweet to heat. They've got 7 sauces. It will definitely add a little extra flavor to every bite. Nothing pairs better with those sauces than hand-breaded tenders. If you're looking for sweet, try honey mustard. If you want some tang, try barbecue. If you want some heat, try creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. If you want smooth and creamy, house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic Bo sauce are ready and waiting. Head to Bojangles, order those hand-breaded tenders, and celebrate your tailgate at a college or high school game or those watch parties at your house with our friends at Bojangles. It is Bo time. It is also Connor O'Gara time. Saturday Down South, Connor O'Gara podcast there. You can get that wherever you get our podcast. He does great work with a ton of people in college football. He is with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline. Welcome in, Connor. How are you today?
Gentlemen, good to be here. Good to be here in a football week. I get that week 0 is officially the start of college football. In my opinion, week 1. Week 1 is where we actually get to say that college football is kicking off, and can't wait for this weekend.
I'm with you. I know they kept telling me that's not an exhibition game, but I can't get past the feeling that I'm watching a bowl game because it's played in Ireland. I know it counted.
Yeah. Look, and no disrespect to the great people of Dublin, a fantastic place and one that I would advise anybody to go if you've got the means to be able to make it work. But it looked sloppy. It looked disorganized. The fact that there was roughly 15 fumbles in the first half, did it make it feel like you were watching a real game and you were kind of reminded, oh yeah, this is August and this is actually going to count. This is kind of a pivotal game in the Big 12 race. But yeah, week 1, that's going to feel like real football.
So, I mean, when we say there's 8, 9, 10 teams that can win the Big 12, I mean, that's not hyperbolic. I mean, I think that's kind of legitimate. One of those teams is Baylor. Obviously, we've got some good games on Thursday night, but we've been talking about this Auburn-Baylor game for a variety of reasons. I think when we had you on at SEC Media Days, I think you believe Auburn's going to be better. But how do you think this game shakes out? And where are you on Baylor coming off 8 wins last year?
I think Auburn's going to win this game. So let me get out ahead by saying that. I don't think that Auburn is going to make this significant jump in year 3 with Hugh Freeze. And I've talked to people like Justin Hokanson about this. Right? How dare I criticize a team that's got 4 consecutive losing seasons for the first time since the Harry Truman administration? How dare I do such a thing? A team that was sending out Towns Magoo to kick field goals from 50 yards, even though he had never made one from 40 yards. How dare I criticize a team like that?
Old Towns.
Towns Magoo.
Poor kid.
For a 50-yarder, even though he's never made a 40-yarder. I love that.
Give it a whirl.
For those that are saying, Connor, you're being too critical, I think Auburn's going to win on Friday night in a big standalone game. And, for those who are thinking, you know what, that's kind of overrated, we lose sight of that. Go back to that Billy Napier game at Utah and how big that was with how disastrous Florida looked in that game and what it meant for the conversation surrounding him in year 2. This is different for Hugh Freeze. He is in year 3. It's a more favorable matchup too. I think Baylor has some weaknesses. Their backfield already looks pretty decimated. Sawyer Robertson really showed last year that he can sling it all over the yard, but are they going to be a little bit too one-dimensional against what could be a top 15 defense in America? America that Auburn has that's kind of lost in the shuffle of all this offensive uncertainty is that they should be really good on defense. And I do think that it could be a slow start for this Auburn offense as they're kind of figuring out who they are. Maybe Jackson Arnold doesn't look great in his return to the Lone Star State, but I think they figure things out. I think they figure things out with their transfer receivers. I hope that Eric Singleton's going to be able to look like the best version of himself in this one. I think he could be a significant factor against a Baylor defense that hasn't even been top 60 the last 3 years. We think Dave Aranda, we think great defense. I think Auburn ultimately gets the best of them and they win this one on the road.
Listen, I know nobody's thinking Florida State's going to beat Alabama outright. Maybe there are some few out there that think that. But I try to tell people that keep saying this is going to be just an Alabama blitz in Tallahassee, that this Florida State roster is reworked from last year. This isn't the same team that was 2-10. You're closer to Tallahassee than I am. You've seen the reporting of this Florida State team. You tell me, has Florida State reworked this roster enough to maybe be an 8-4 team this year?
Am I that much closer? I'm like 4.5 hours from Tallahassee.
I feel like I'm
close
about,
are you guys?
I'm about 4.5 hours.
No, we're probably 6.5, 7.
I'm about
Okay.
6.5 or 7.
Yeah.
So you are closer to Tallahassee.
Yeah, sure. We'll count it. We'll count it. Yeah, they could have as many as 9 transfers starting on offense in this game. They basically just include, and that doesn't even include Gus Malzahn, of course, which I'm sure you guys have talked about ad nauseum to this point. But they basically said our offense last year, blue chunks, we need to start over, and we need just an overhaul. And then they bring Scrappy Doo as their starting quarterback and Tommy Castellanos, who, look, he's been more bark than bite to this point of his career. Let's call it what it is. For him to call out an Alabama defense that had its best scoring defense since 2017 was a wild move in the preseason. And to do that and to give this defense 2 months, 3 months worth of ammo was a bad decision. Now, what could be working in Florida State's favor is the fact that this is Florida, and this is Florida in August. And there could be some very muddy conditions. And there could be a whole lot of pressure on Alabama to turn to the ground game and show that it can punch Florida State in the mouth. And that's something that I think Ryan Grubb is going to take a lot of pride in. You know, I don't know how much you guys have talked about this, but like why it didn't work out with him with the Seattle Seahawks was he basically just didn't have an NFL-ready ground scheme. And I think there's a lot of pressure on him now, especially without Jan Miller. Justice Haynes already left for Michigan. Of like, what's this going to look like in the ground game? And knowing that you have a first-time starting quarterback in Ty Simpson, can Alabama establish the run and win this game a little bit, you know, old-fashioned, a little bit of like a Nick Saban type win, more so than a Kalen DeBoer type win? That to me would be a really positive sign if Alabama was capable of like mucking it up and looking like the superior team in that way. I think they'll be able to do it. I don't necessarily think that they run away and win this one by 28 points, just because maybe Florida State's a little bit more comfortable in playing that type of game given the conditions that we expect on Saturday. But yeah, I don't expect Tommy Castellanos to be slinging it all over the yard, and I think my Scrappy Doo comp will be accurate.
I love that.
Connor O'Gara is with us at CJ O'Gara. Saturday Down South. He's on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. South Carolina has got a very challenging schedule, so it would be very easy to overlook this Virginia Tech game. There's no doubt about that. Do we do so at our own peril? Does Virginia Tech have anything that could scare South Carolina on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, they have a defensive-minded head coach in Brent Pry who should have things to throw at Lenore Sellers with a lot of time to prepare, and a new offensive coordinator and Mike Shula, who you guys know very well in your neck of the woods, who, look, his job is to make life easier for Lenore Sellers, and he might not necessarily be doing that from the jump. I can guarantee you that Shane Beamer is not overlooking this game against the program that his dad built. Like, this is maybe I don't know what Frank Beamer is going to be wearing on Sunday for that game in Atlanta, which I assume he will be at. Have we ever seen a coach that has a statue wear the apparel of an opposing team in a game?
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know. I don't know. It could be a first. Something to keep in mind. But this game means a lot for Shane Beamer, and I think he would like to be able to show the world that he has all the capabilities of being able to shut down Virginia Tech and have his star quarterback come in and look the part from the jump.
If I could buzz in real quick, technically Steve Spurrier with a statue at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium wore South Carolina gear against Florida.
Good point.
Yep.
Good point.
Thank you.
Good point.
Yeah.
But did he get that? When did he get that statue?
That's a great question. I don't know. I was hoping you would not do a historical check on me.
Yeah, no, he had a statue when he was coaching at South Carolina, but Frank Beamer would be making a choice here.
Oh, I know.
To wear it as a fan over his son.
I was just going technicality here. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. I should bring that up. Maybe first as a fan for someone.
Yeah.
That could be in that spot.
Okay.
So, Connor, I think we all agree the most hyped player since Tim Tebow coming into a college football season is Arch Manning this year. But on the other side, Julian Saban making that first start. How good can this kid be?
He's an Ohio State quarterback, so the floor for an Ohio State quarterback is second to none. I mean, it really is. And all the different quarterbacks that they have had over the course of the last 15 years that you've had questions about coming into a season and then very quickly watch them sling it all over the yard and go, oh, yeah, this guy's pretty good. It wasn't that long ago we were asking those questions about C.J. Stroud. And like, is this guy really going to step into this role in a post-Justin Fields world and look the part? And then, very quickly you realize it's pretty darn good. Julian Saban has the ability to do that. Will he be doing that in week 1? Against what I believe is the best defense in college football, with a new play caller he has in Brian Hartline, with a very new look offensive line, a new look backfield. Yes, he's got Jeremiah Smith. He's got Carnell Tate. He might have the best receiver room in all of college football. There's no denying that. But is he going to look that part from the jump? I think that could be a challenge. I think this could be a very low-scoring game with two quarterbacks that are facing tough challenges with what they're going to see on the defensive side of the ball. I think Julian Saban's going to end up being a great player for Ohio State. It'd be foolish to predict that he's going to be a bust because, simply put, Ohio State quarterbacks have not exactly produced those types of players. So I just think it'll be a little bit more of a tough go early on. Chunk plays are going to be so important in this game. Ohio State could be the team that gets more of those.
Yeah, but the two other games, the big ones, this Notre Dame-Miami game on Sunday, I'm looking so forward. You're closer to Miami than I am.
I can guarantee that one.
That I am.
To continue the theme. Boy, I am buying all in on Miami in this game. I don't know. I feel like an idiot, but when he says I just got to trust C.J. Carr, Marcus Freeman, I went my gut on C.J. Carr. Notre Dame's a really good team, great running back. I just feel like this is a Miami game. How do you feel about this Hurricane team?
I don't feel great. I don't. If there's a team in college football who is, I guess Miami's not capable of doing this because it only won 10 games last year. But if there's a team in college football that's capable of regressing by 11 wins, a la Florida State last year, I would pick Miami. Now, Miami's not going to have -1 wins this year, so I won't get on the record saying that. But I think their roster has a lot of concerns. And I know that they return a lot of experience in the trenches. They attack the transfer portal because that's just what Mario Cristobal's done. But I worry about Carson Beck coming off of the injury and all the things that he showed last year when he really struggled. Now, he cleaned up the interceptions down the stretch, but this was a guy who struggled immensely in the first half of games. And I don't know that he got on the same page with those receivers. I think that the receiver room lacks talent. I mean, they're really looking at C.J. Daniels, a guy who didn't even get in the end zone last year for LSU, as being like one of their go-to guys. And they're going to rely on a lot of young guys. And I have questions of how that's going to look in week 1 against the Marcus Freeman coach defense. So I think Notre Dame's going to win this game. I think Miami is one of those teams that I'm kind of scratching my head going, guys, I'm not seeing preseason top 10. I think that defensively, they were just such a disaster last year, and they're really relying on a lot of year-to-year improvement. I know they get the defensive coordinator from Minnesota, but I think that they're going to be put in a tough spot, and I would pick Notre Dame to win this game.
Most people believe the three obvious Big Ten teams to get into a college football playoff are Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. There's got to be a fourth team. The surprise team last year was Indiana. I'll ask you, what do you think Kirk Cignetti does in his encore?
I don't think they will fall off the face of the earth. The schedule is really forgiving. They return a lot of talent. I mean, Elijah Surratt could end up being the best receiver in college football. That's not that far-fetched of a thing. And I know you're really high on Fernando Mendoza coming over from Cal. So, there's a lot to like on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, they still got Kamara coming back on the defensive side. This is a team that still has some star power from a team that had its best season in school history. But it's Indiana football. It's Indiana football, man. 8-4. 8-4. I can't get there with the 10-2. I know Zach Osterman, who I've known for a really, really long time, who's been covering that team for the Indianapolis Star forever. He's got him going 10-2 this year. And he's not one to really put himself out there with something like that. But there is still a favorable path to a winning season. I just don't necessarily think things will line up as well as they did last year. And I look at a team like Illinois as having a better path. I think Illinois, what it returns in the trenches, this feels more like a Brett Bielema Wisconsin team than a previous Illinois team. I love Luke Altmaier. I thought Luke Altmaier was actually going to beat out Jackson Dart for that starting job at Ole Miss a couple of years ago. And that didn't prove to be the case. He's still a really good college quarterback. But I think that Illinois has a better chance of taking that path this year than Indiana.
All right, he is Connor O'Gara at CJ O'Gara. He is about to record a show, so if you will set your alerts, you'll know when his stuff drops. Follow him on social media as well, at CJ O'Gara, as I said. Saturday Down South is where you can see a lot of his work, but he's great about sharing where everything is on social media, at CJ O'Gara. Connor, thank you. Enjoy week one. It is always fun talking with you.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care. Connor with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Odie's. It's Wednesday again.
It is time for Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night. The original location in Crestline. Come join us. Get there early. Enjoy the great food from Rodney Davis. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Live music every Friday and Saturday. Great place to watch college football kickoff as well. Get in, see Will Haver, that great staff, 2 locations, the original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood, Birmingham Institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama there to help you out when you need your health check, right? I'm going there today, in fact, at urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersofalabama.com, 205-930-0920. Helps you stay on top of some of the numbers, from prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. If you get to that point where you want to have a vasectomy, they can handle that, just anything, and they've been doing it for over 70 years. UCA has provided state-of-the-art, patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. Listen, it's 16 locations. It's great urologists. There's one near you. It's very convenient. Find out more details or make an appointment, 205-930-0920 or urologycentersalabama.com. Another big game this weekend, LSU and Clemson. Dabo Swinney, interesting. Grew up in Pelham, played in Tuscaloosa at Alabama, and now he's playing LSU to open up the season. He gets asked about LSU. Was that a rival for him growing up in Alabama?
I mean, growing up, everybody that played Alabama was a rival to me. I mean, that was just how I grew up. Like, if you were playing the Tide, like, you were a rival, whoever we were playing that week. But certainly the it was just kind of ingrained growing up that Tennessee and Auburn, like, that was just kind of. Now, when I got to Alabama and spent 13, so I was a part of 13 Alabama LSU games. You played everybody, when I was in Tuscaloosa, those 13 years. So, and LSU was in our division. So, I mean, you played them every year. A lot of battles. I don't know. I don't think they do it anymore. But back when I was playing, you'd come right out of the tunnel, and they'd have the Tiger right there, like you're getting your gloves on, you're getting ready to go out for pregame, and it'd be like, and there he was. Was it Mike? That's his name. They had the Tiger. I mean, like in a cage right at the entrance. So got a lot of cool memories from LSU. It's one of the cool places, I think, in college football to experience a game, just like this place here. So, but as far as a rival, everybody that played the Tide was a rival.
Yeah, so some memories there from Dabo getting ahead of this game. Got a gut on this one. LSU's my national championship pick, but I don't think they survived the weekend.
Yeah, I kind of like Clemson, and that number stretched out to 4.5. Now, whether or not they cover, we'll see. But home field, I think more solidified on defense with Tom Allen coming over. I think those will be the factors that ultimately, and I do think Cade Klubnik's a little bit better than Nussmeier right now.
I like Nuss better than I do Klubnik, but the Tom Allen thing, you bring up a great point, not talked about nearly enough, and it seemed to me to be that doesn't seem like a traditional Dabo Swinney hire to me. That's a really good, proven veteran coach that Dabo went out and hired.
Well, look, it's all about networking, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Dabo and Tom Allen have the same representation.
They do.
Yeah.
So there was probably conversations there. And look, Dabo needed to fix his defense. They gave up the most total yards a Clemson defense has given up since 2012. So, if they are going to get back to where Clemson wants to get, and I think the offense is ready-made to get there. And I do think when you look at that defensive line and what Tom Allen will bring schematically, I think that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, interesting game there. Brownie, you got a gut on that one yet?
I mean, my gut tells me Clemson, and I cannot get past, and I give you credit for being the first person really to bring this up, but a lot of people are saying it now.
I heard it somewhere else. But
No, I did not. You were the first person, but a lot of people are saying it now. That reworked LSU offensive line making their first start in a hostile road environment against probably the best defensive front in America is
that's
a
a challenge. Yeah.
That's a problem. And I could just see Garrett Nussmeier running for his life. He also playing, he may be 100%, I don't know, but he's had to play this camp with a knee brace on. So what's his mobility like, right? Might he miss some time in this game if he starts getting stacked up on by that defensive front? There's just a lot to be concerned about with this. I think this LSU team can be fine. It's not a one-game season. I think in this particular game, though, there's a lot to be worried about with them.
Yeah. I'll ask you to start the next hour, so think about this through the viewing menu. And we're going to give you our playoff picks before this show's over with. Which of the three big games this weekend, the Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami, which one has the biggest impact, the second biggest, and the least impact on the college football playoff race, and why? That's coming up at the top of the hour. We'll get to that. But right now, it is time for the viewing menu, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
To view life in 4K, our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, they are there for you. I went and got the procedure done way back in 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with an absolutely hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Got a new movie tonight. It's in theaters, and it's called Eden, based on a factual account of a group of outsiders who settle on a remote island only to discover that their greatest threat isn't the brutal climate or the deadly wildlife, but each other. It's got Sydney Sweeney, Jude Law, and Ana de Armas.
Your greatest threat is each other. I think I know how this is going to go.
It's got 2 first-round picks in it right
does,
there.
Yeah.
It does. But it hasn't been doing very well at the box office, but it's got a good cast, and it sounds somewhat interesting. So I might give it a shot.
Okay.
Well, I bet Jude Law would have liked to have been on that set about 10 years ago.
Netflix has a new release tonight called The Thursday Murder Club. 4 retirees spend their time solving cold case murders for fun, but their casual sleuthing takes a thrilling turn when they find themselves with a real whodunit on their hands. It's got Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and Ben Kingsley. It's on Netflix tonight.
Isn't this just a twist off of Murder in the Building with
Steve Martin, Short, and Selena Gomez?
I started that and never could. We couldn't stick with it.
Yeah, I got to the end of the first season and I tapped out.
Yeah. I still watch it. I think I've seen 4 seasons. I think I've gone through 4 seasons. Hokey, but funny. This seems like a twist on that.
It might be. I haven't seen that show. I didn't even know there were 4 seasons of only Murders in the Building.
I didn't realize there was that many seasons either.
Yeah, at least 4. I think I've seen 4.
We've also got some new additions to Hulu and Peacock. So if you want to have a Robin Williams double feature tonight, you can explore the polar opposites of Robin Williams, because Peacock has added Good Will Hunting and Hulu has added 1 Hour Photo. So
boy, that is complete different Robin Williams. Such an underrated guy. If he is underrated, I don't even know if he is.
I think he's largely beloved, yeah.
I mean, he's just so talented as an actor. I didn't like his stand-up.
I like his stand-up. Yeah.
It's everywhere. I mean, you just got to be able to. He goes everywhere.
I did watch episode 3 of The Cowboys last night. I snuck that one in.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Still good?
Oh yeah. That was the
92
back
NFC championship.
The back and forth on the 92 NFC championship.
And it was so well done.
And all I could say, I was sitting there watching it with Maddie last night. And I'm like, 100%. I don't remember who I had, what side I had in this game, but you don't understand all of the different things going on inside of the game when you're watching a game like that.
No.
33 years ago, and how important that was for like the Cowboys' legacy.
That's right. Yeah. And that one play at the end, I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. If you know anything about the game, there's a play at the end that it was one of the biggest plays in Cowboys football history.
I just thought it was amazing that Jimmy Johnson walks the field because they had a problem with the sod done away. Like, there was so much rain in the area, and for whatever reason, they just said Troy Aikman could never throw a wet ball. So Jimmy Johnson's out surveying the field and finding out where bad footing and good footing. And they asked George Seifert before the game, are you going to check? I got other things to do to check out the field.
Yeah, I got other things to worry about.
And they actually found a play call late in the game where the footing was going to be bad for the defender. I mean,
that's right.
It's those little, those minuscule details that really separate the greats.
Great coaching right there. That's unbelievable. That's what everyone's watching right now, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. The show also being brought to you by our friends at Heupel. They bring you lanceslock.com. We talked a lot of gambling spreads and betting odds and favorites and all that here in the opening hour of the show. You can jump on for a package right now at lanceslock.com, always brought to you by Heupel.
Yeah, jump on, win with us at lanceslock.com. Again, free play every single day. We have been crushing the free plays. Jump on board, win with us all weekend long, starting with college football tomorrow, all through Labor Day. You can get that college football package. It's available at lanceslock.com right now. Brought to you by our friends at Heupel Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, heating, any of those issues that arise in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hempillservices.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to chenard.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, rolling on to hour number 2 now. LTD&B with you here in our Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. Behind the glass, you got Tyler Forrester and new guy Brooks Carter back there, who made his debut yesterday on the air, picking Coastal Carolina in his upset alert. We'll hear more about what Brooks's duties are in his formal introduction coming up before trash a little bit later on. No tux is required. Deadwood, do we have any of that yet, guys? There was one yesterday that I meant to bring up.
And we had 2 already yesterday, so there was a third. Huh?
Okay, what was the 2 yesterday? There was a big one yesterday. I was driving around afterwards.
I can't remember.
And I was like, God, we got that wrong in the show. It'll come back to me at some point. All of our Deadwood on the show today, including even our bad thoughts on outcomes of football games, brought to you by our friends at Gray's, who back in the day got some deadwood out of LT's yard.
They did. You'll see those Gray's trucks rolling around Birmingham for more than 25 years. Family owned and operated right here in Birmingham, from the removal, the trimming, also the health. And people don't talk about that enough. They can identify what's going on with your yard and prescribe ideal treatments for the trees around there, help trees grow fuller, healthier, canopies for beauty, shade, and impact. Again, I had the guys out a little over a year ago to extract the 4 pines. Make the phone call that I made, 205-281-6100. You can always scan the QR code that Scotty has put up, or you can just visit graystree.com.
Yeah, I'll tell you the deadwood I wanted to bring up was Deshaun Watson being put on the PUP list, again, by the Cleveland Browns. And before we get back to college football, can you tell me a player who has hurt an NFL franchise, damaged an NFL franchise the most? Like, is Deshaun Watson going to be that guy?
I'm trying to think of another ridiculous deal that somebody has gotten in the NFL that it just didn't pan out. I mean, Brock Osweiler was terrible, but that was just a different situation. I mean, Deshaun, this is pretty much self-inflicted. I know he hasn't been healthy, but if it wasn't for the off-field, he would have been playing at some point.
This contract is unbelievable.
The contract, what you gave up first-round pick-wise for him. And look, I mean, you guys, you remember this. Like, I thought Deshaun Watson, when the Rams ended up getting Matthew Stafford, I was like, damn, I wish they would have got. I like Stafford,
right?
But I think Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback, at least at that point. And obviously, it completely fell apart after that. But at one point, Deshaun Watson was close to a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but there was a moment, I remember it vividly, being on a Sunday, because I was at church when this was all going down, when Deshaun Watson was almost a Miami Dolphin. At least the reports were that the Dolphins were very interested in making a move for Deshaun Watson, and I was okay with that. He's a guy that has at times been an elite level NFL quarterback and was pretty healthy. He did not stay hurt like Tua has, so I was okay with that. And it didn't play out that way, and I am now thankful it didn't, because this guy, to your point, Dunaway, has destroyed an NFL franchise.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to, and they're digging out of it, but they made $35.8 million of his contract a signing bonus yesterday. They got so much dead cap space, and I think he's making $44 million this year or something. It's insanity what he's being paid and what they gave up in draft stock and all that. I'm trying to think. I'm racking my brain of someone who has hurt their NFL franchise more than this guy has.
Because even if you pick a first-round quarterback and completely crap the bed on that pick, okay, you can be out from under that deal in just a couple of years. And you can trade him perhaps. You can, straight release him. Just look at Josh Rosen. That guy played for 4 teams in 4 years and was, I think a number 9 pick, I believe, Josh Rosen was.
Number 10 overall.
Number 10 overall,
Arizona.
and played for 4 teams in 4 seasons. So you can get rid of those guys pretty easily, and you don't have a ton of money invested in terms of other NFL contracts.
And you didn't give up picks for him. It was
That's
a
right,
draft pick.
It was a draft pick. But Deshaun Watson, you got a ton of money invested in him. You can't get rid of him.
Yep.
You gave up picks to get him and then paid him all that money. I can't think of another example, Lance, of a guy that has killed an NFL franchise more.
Yeah, see if the chat room has anybody there popping up. I remember who the Vikings got. Was it Herschel Walker? I mean, who
you talking about? Well, that's a big
part of the
part of the first couple of episodes. And he goes into episode 3, the Herschel Walker trade with the Vikings,
and that helps the Cowboys.
The 4 picks.
And the Vikings,
or 5 picks.
They had some success, but not because of Herschel Walker.
No, but at that point,
Herschel did not play well. He ended up with the Eagles and came back and played the
Cowboys weren't good at that point. People were like, "Why are you trading your best player?" And it was just brilliant behind the scenes.
It really
work.
was. Did you know, Dunaway? I never knew this part of it. For some reason, the Vikings put a clause in there that if the Cowboys cut the players that were in that trade, they got a draft pick for them. So what do you think the Cowboys did? They cut all of them.
They cut them all.
Yeah, they're like, we'll just take those draft picks. Like, what were the Vikings thinking in doing that?
It's a horrible trade.
Well, they got the Vikings they wanted Herschel Walker so badly. This is not exactly what you're thinking, but somebody in the chat room, it's moving too quickly for me. Somebody in the chat room said Andrew Luck.
Well, but he was so good, but a short period of time. But it did.
He left in the middle of the night almost. It seemed.
It has.
But I forgot what that contract was for the Colts. Look, they haven't recovered quarterback-wise.
That was the point.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily contract related. It was just like, so they immediately went Matt Ryan for a year, right?
Yep.
And then drafted Anthony Richardson, who's not even going to start for them now.
No, but they went Matt Ryan. They had Carson Wentz for a year.
That's right. And then drafted Anthony Richardson, who's not even a starter for them in week 1.
And we were praising them for a while because it was such a virtual, seamless transition from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only organization, and you thought the Colts were going to be like this, but Green Bay, when you go from Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now Jordan Love, they have gotten it right, and that is almost impossible to do.
And that's what the Colts had done with Andrew Luck until he retired so quickly.
Yeah. I don't know that you're going to find a better example of what happened. And I don't know if it was Cleveland not doing their due diligence on the background check or what, but, it has destroyed their franchise. Just look at their current quarterback situation. It's the worst in the league. And the guy you're paying all the money is the guy you can't even play.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that's happening in Cleveland. That was our Graves dead wood of the day. Back to college football. Right after Brownie sets the table with a couple of big point spreads, MyBookie.ag, where you can play national championship betting odds futures right there at MyBookie.ag, where I would assume it's probably Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, top 4 on that
you want
list
that?
there? Yeah.
You want that? I got it right here. Let's do that part of it. So Texas, a plus 520. So that's a little more than 5.5 to 1, or a little less than 5.5 to 1, right, Lance?
Right,
just over 5 to 1. Ohio State 6 to 1. Penn State just a shade under 7 to 1. So is Georgia, same odds there. Clemson just a shade over 9 to 1, and that's where you find Alabama 9.5 to 1.
I wanted to hear the magical words, Alabama.
That's the word you wanted to hear. So those are some national championship odds. That's your top 6 contenders: Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama. According to MyBookie.ag, code next round at MyBookie.ag. You got games coming up starting tomorrow night. We got football, actually starting tomorrow afternoon if you want to get technical. We got college football. You can play it at MyBookie.ag. Code next round. When you join up at MyBookie.ag, you sign on, you get started. When you sign on, use code next round. And here's what they're going to do for you. They want this to be such a pleasurable experience for you. In your first time around with MyBookie.ag, they're going to give you a bet back bonus up to $500. Here's what that means. You play, you lose up to $500 in your first game. They put it right back into your account. You can fire down again. It's that simple. A bet back bonus, $500 with MyBookie.ag. That is when you use code next round. Code next round at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Code next round.
All right. So Forrester and Brooks, who will be sending some of this out on social media, our official 12-team playoff picks time on the show right now. Brooks is panicked. You don't have to have yours, Brooks. Forrester, you don't have to have yours. This is just ours. LT, you want to go first? You usually do. Want to go first?
Doesn't matter to me. Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Start us off, man.
I will start with my top 4 seeds. Believe it or not, a lot of people believe that the ACC will not be a top 4 seed. I got Clemson number 1 overall.
Ooh, look out.
Fighting Dabo Sweeney.
I think they go 11-1. I think they will have a blemish, but I think the 3 teams behind them all have 2 losses. Alabama, your 2 seed at 10-2. Penn State at 10-2 at number 3. I think Penn State's schedule is just too easy and too much offensive production returning. And Georgia will slide in as a top seed. Year 5, Utah winning the Big 12, hosting Boise State, who is your Group 5. 6, Notre Dame hosting Texas. How about that first round game?
Yeah, man.
7, Oklahoma, Texas. That's your upset matchup. And number 8, LSU hosting number 9, Utah.
You got Utah in there twice, 5 and 9 seed.
Damn, how did I do that?
That's a pretty good team.
Yep. I did not mean to do that.
So we're taking it.
No. I got
Brooks
it.
and Scott, don't send out this part.
Yeah, don't send this one out yet.
Try to edit this if we can.
Yeah.
Who are you going to throw in there as the 9? He is going to go Oregon.
Yeah.
The Ducks in it.
Yeah. So Oregon, LSU.
Yeah.
So those are some hell of a good matchups, right? First round?
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, we're all going to have some of the same teams, but shuffled around in different places.
Oklahoma is the big one there. So you think, let me see that again.
Well, Oklahoma and LSU or USC.
No, I just want to look at Oklahoma at 7. Well, I'm more surprised by Oklahoma than USC, frankly.
I'm buying into Mateer. I think Oklahoma is a 10-2, 9-3 type team, even with that schedule, which is crazy. But
Utah, Oklahoma, USC are 3 names that you will not see on a lot of people's list there. Absolutely.
There's some bold right there, man.
Yeah.
Clemson to be the number 1 seed. I don't know how often you'll see that.
I agree with you there.
Well, if they get past LSU Saturday night, though, they're
a good spot.
Inside track to it. There's no doubt. Me next?
Yep.
I chose to, by and large, there's been one thing that has changed since I gave.
God, you have more fine print than anybody I know.
Just finish the sentence. Some restrictions apply.
I mean, we get into anything, and there's an excuse or an explanation.
Jim, can I just say this one thing?
Yes.
If these picks last longer than 4 hours, go consult your physician, okay? I, by and large, stuck with the top 25 that I sent you to start the year, okay? With one exception.
To stay consistent.
I'm trying my best to stay consistent, and it's going to put me in some conflicts. It's going to put me in some conflicts based on some other things.
So Texas and Florida are going to be here.
Texas and Florida are going to be here. I had to make one change, and I'll explain that. Texas is my number 1. Ohio State, my number 2. Notre Dame, Bama, that's your first round buys for me. Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Bama.
What do you think Texas's record is to be the number 1 seed?
11-1. Well, 11-1 regular season. I have them and Bama playing in the SEC championship game, and Texas winning the SEC championship over Alabama. Clemson's my 5 seed. I got the Bulldogs of Georgia at 6, Penn State 7, LSU 8. Florida comes in 9. I'm sticking with the Gators.
Way to get louder there.
Florida comes in 9.
I like it.
Oregon 10, Texas Tech. That's my one change. I had BYU in this spot, but that was before Retzlaff was going.
Yeah.
So
I had
Tech.
BYU too until that, and I went with Utah.
And then Boise is my group of 5. I really struggle with this group of 5, but I tried to stay consistent, and I went Boise. So after my buys, I got Clemson playing host to Boise, Georgia playing host to Texas Tech, Penn State playing host to Oregon, and a Big Ten game, and LSU Florida, an all SEC 8-9 game.
These are our official lock-in picks for the playoffs on the year. I, too, am going to go Texas with the overall seed, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson all with byes. And then here are the first-round matchups. And you'll notice not having to throw out conference champions and byes makes everybody's first-round matchups better, in my opinion, and second-round matchup, too. I'm going to go with this right here. 5-12, Penn State and Memphis in Happy Valley. Memphis, the American may be too tough to get a team in, but I'm going to go strength of schedule. Memphis gets in. Georgia 8, LSU 9. Winner gets Texas. Texas Tech is my Big 12 team, but really you can put any Big 12 team in there. On the road at Oregon, a 7 seed. Auburn as an 11 seed, playing Notre Dame as a 6 seed in South Bend. Finally, Auburn fans get that matchup with Notre Dame they've always wanted.
So all your Auburn fans that you play golf with every day, are they upset with you for picking Auburn?
No. They know that eventually Jim gets one right.
It's the law of averages.
Could be this year. But that sets up the Auburn upset of Notre Dame, Auburn, Alabama playing each other in round 2 of the college football
And
playoffs.
you got Auburn as a quarterfinal team.
Well,
That's about as high as anybody else.
I hope you were right for the sake of the show. If we get both of those teams in the college football playoff, that's going to be good. I messed up on my 9 seed again.
Oh, geez. We're going to have to redo Lance's. We'll just start it from scratch.
Can we go to South Bend as a show if Auburn's playing Notre Dame?
Yeah.
That will be.
It's very overrated, though.
It's going to be just before Christmas, and it's going to be cold. So
I'll tell you what, I'll anchor from the studio.
Yeah, Lance going to stay in the studio. Why don't you go?
I'll go.
I mean, you got all your Auburn fans. They'll be going.
I love going on the road. They're going to. Yesterday was the last day we play golf.
Because they're on their way to Waco?
Because they're all going to Waco.
I know a lot of Auburn fans that are going. I've told you, there's one that works in a office next to our studios here. I was talking to him in a break. He's on his way.
Yep.
I know a lot of Auburn fans going. Pretty easy trip.
Yeah, and what's really crazy is that there are a number of that area of Texas kids that are Auburn students that are now, their daughters are going home and taking sorority sisters from Auburn with them, and they just live in that part of Texas. So it's really crazy. And I say a lot, 4 that I know. So,
No, I know a good bit of Auburn fans that are going out there. They're going to take advantage of this trip.
So those are our official lock-in picks.
Does Lance need to redo it?
Yeah, let's do Lance's again.
Lance, why don't you give us yours, man?
Yeah,
I mean,
look,
this may be better to send out.
I scrambled on the Utah, and the O I saw was actually Ohio State. It's not Oregon.
Okay.
So that's it. It's changed to Ohio State, Oregon, number 9 seed.
So do you have Oregon in?
No.
No Oregon. So Ohio State.
Yep.
All right. It's probably better to send that out graphic form anyway. That seems like 3 graphics.
Yeah, 3 graphics.
Instead of, it gets a little long on the audio cuts. Yeah. So maybe 3 graphics.
So Brooks will give you these. Lance's is locked in fighting.
Yeah. Brooks, this could be your first. Can we just go ahead and do the formal introduction of Brooks?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see at his place.
Let's formally introduce Brooks now. Can you do it in there, Brooks? Brooks is going to actually do these graphics, and Brown's going to introduce him formally now. I don't know. I don't have his middle name. I mean, I don't know how formal this has to be.
A social security number, I think, is what I'm supposed to share here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Brooks Carter is with us. Brooks, what is your official title?
Creative Media Director.
Creative Media Director.
Yeah,
all right.
CMD.
See, Brooks is our CMD.
He's a 5-tool player, though.
There is no doubt about it. Brooks can do many, many things, and that's why he is so valuable to our team, and we're very happy to have him here. Brooks has got a background in both radio and TV. He comes to us from our friends at ABC 3340.
Yeah, where we're now banned from ever shopping for employees again.
In fact, that entire wall there came to us from ABC 3340. So many years between that, but we appreciate both of them.
Yeah. You think Spiegel hates us that we cut into the blitz so much on Friday nights? I mean, how many games did you shoot on normal Friday nights?
I actually only shot high school football games my first year there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I moved to a Sunday through Thursday schedule. I was technically a news photographer, even though I helped shoot college football. I'm what Scott was before he, graduated to being a sports photographer. So you got to work into that role.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the biggest news story you shot?
Probably not a good one. Something in Birmingham related to homicide.
So a murder? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, sorry.
But Brooks, a former intern for us, 2014.
That's right. That's where he really got his start.
So here's the thing you'll notice about job difference quickly. First time it snows this year, if it snows this year, we've had a very mild summer. If it snows this year, you don't have to go out and shoot any of it.
That's right.
We don't care. We don't care when it snows here. In fact, we enjoy it.
No, but ask Tyler. You might get to camp out here.
That's right.
If it does snow.
Yeah.
Tyler?
Maybe.
Did he get stuck here?
I didn't, but I pretty much live up here anyway.
Oh.
I'm up here on weekends and holidays.
Yeah. Should we formally introduce Tyler? I don't know if we ever did that.
Tyler Johns.
So anything else on the formal introduction?
Yeah, so Brooks, as creative media director, is going to be doing a lot of stuff on our social media accounts, so continue to follow those at Next Round Live. And we've got some unique stuff coming up on college football. I guess we need to say Fridays and Saturdays because it's going to start Friday this week. A few different things we've done. Few different things we'll do this year than we have done that you'll see on social media. So we're excited about all of that. And Brooks got a lot of fresh ideas. I know you don't want to fire them out here on the show, Brooks, but I've heard some of them, and I am excited about these fresh ideas.
Yeah, I mean, stay tuned, I guess would be the best thing to say. We'll start pumping some of this stuff out soon. I mean, I just got my computer today, so yeah, stand by on that.
All about fresh ideas. Excited about this.
Yeah.
LT usually helps people set up their new computers up here. So
I do. Yes.
Let them know. All right. That formal introduction brought to you by our friends formerly or currently at Inverness Country Club. Brownie and LT?
Yeah, Inverness Country Club, a great place to go. Dunaway, you got a membership there. You can go.
You can come join us.
Now that your foursome has gone out of town.
That's right. Jim, you're by yourself. You want to play this afternoon?
I do not. I got a physical with our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, if you pay attention to the copy.
I did hear that earlier.
Find your sense of community, Inverness Country Club. Memberships that fit absolutely everyone from the social to the golf. Childcare is also a big plus. Maybe you want to work. Maybe you're working from home. Maybe you want to work from the club. Let them keep the kid. They can do it right there at Inverness Country Club. Best days happen there. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Erin. Tell her the Next Round sent you. 205-991-8608 or online iccalabama.com.
All right. Couple of things happened yesterday. One of them, I understand why it's going to happen. In fact, I project it's going to happen 3 more times now. But I hate it only because I have to hear it from Danny Cannell. I hated that Alabama instantly canceled the West Virginia games in 2026 and 2027. And Joel Klatt, I think he hinted that he thought it was going to happen as well. When I said, what do you think about Alabama's schedule coming up in 2027 with Ohio State, West Virginia, 9 conference games? And he said, well, let's see if they, those games stay on the schedule.
You knew it was going to happen, though. It had to going to 9 games.
Yeah, it has to.
I was hopeful it wouldn't, Lance, but I was fearful it would.
Because I loved the way Greg Byrne had given you a marquee out-of-conference game. And then one that sort of was a decent helmet, but you thought, okay, they should win that game anyway. Alabama should. Like this year, I mean, Florida State, Wisconsin, that's a very good, that's 2 good helmets. You could have walked into a couple of top 10 teams there in 8 conference games.
But, there is no buzz about those games.
Because everybody just checks them off as W's for Alabama.
And they would have done the same for West Virginia.
They would have. And you quickly add the ECU, East Carolina. Listen, it had to happen, 9 conference games. You don't want to be too much out on the limb. You got Ohio State. You got Notre Dame. You got great matchups coming up down the road. I just hated that it happened so quickly. In fact, I think it'll also happen with the Oklahoma State, the Boston College, and the Minnesota games because they're all other Power 4 games, home and homes, on bookends of the better marquee matchups on the other side of the Ohio States, the Notre Dames.
But I would almost hold on those games. Like when's the last time we saw look, Minnesota's been solid year in, year out, but they can't play with Alabama.
But see, that was my point is I think Alabama, rolls through despite the strength of schedule in the other 10. They roll through Oklahoma State, Boston College, Minnesota. But I understand what Greg's doing. Is okay, well, let's see how the strength of schedule model plays out. We got 9 conference games now and a really good out-of-conference game. Do we really need that second great out-of-conference game?
But can I make a point that you might not have thought of in this, or that people, maybe you have thought of it?
I think we all want that.
Oh, I love them all, yeah.
What some people may not have considered in all of this, though, is that was a 26-27 schedule. And I've forgotten now, but I think 26 was in Morgantown, 27 was in Tuscaloosa. You don't know what your home and away is going to be yet in the SEC games for
That's
a 9-game
true.
schedule.
You talking about the 5 and 4?
I
5 and
disagree.
4.
I do think
you
they
think
know.
you know.
I think the president.
So that's why you went ahead and canceled this. Then they know they're probably going to get 4 home games, 5 road games.
Yeah, I don't know
in
if
26.
I don't know if that's one of the reasons why they canceled it, but I do believe the ADs and the presidents know the schedule.
But keep in mind, you now have East Carolina, South Florida, and Florida State all at home. So all your out-of-conference is at home. So you're either going to end up having 8 home games or 7, but you're going to be no less than 7.
I would tell you it would be in this era after the Saban era where everyone – it wasn't true, by the way, but the perception was that there was some pandering from the SEC office to Alabama during the Saban years. Wasn't true, but there was always that public discussion in places like Athens and Knoxville and Auburn. And
did you get
Baton Rouge.
confirmation it wasn't true?
No, I saw it happen in real time. There was no pandering to Alabama during those years. So it would not shock me if the first iteration of the 9-game schedule, Alabama has 5 road games and 4 home games, to your point, Brown, which is why you would want that first. I would imagine that Greg Burns, a very smart AD, that there's some wording in these contracts on these future games that if the SEC went to 9 conference games, there would be outs.
Well, and that's what I think probably happened here with the West Virginia schedule. It was probably written, our schedule contract, it was probably written into the contract that if the SEC goes to 9 games, this contract's automatically revoked. And that's why it got announced so quickly.
With no penalty,
With no penalties, yeah. I mean, and West Virginia would have agreed upon that when they signed the contract.
I bet Rich Rodriguez is okay with it.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all, yeah. Year 2 having to play Alabama.
Yeah.
And that's why because your point, Jim, is it kind of looked bad for it to come that quickly.
Yeah.
But I would imagine.
Only with people like Danny Cannell and Joel Klatt who love to poke fun at that week 12. Nobody pays attention. By the way, Alabama's on the road at Florida State. Texas is on the road at Ohio State. LSU's on the road at Clemson. Auburn's on the road at Baylor. Everybody will point to that week 12 game where it's Alabama and whomever and Charleston Southern and Mercer's and all Chattanooga's are all on the schedule. Everybody's like, look at the SEC, who they're playing in week 12.
But I would imagine Alabama announced it that quickly because if it is an automatic cancellation of the contract, you don't want West Virginia announcing it right away, making it look like Alabama is trying to skirt this and hide it. So you just go ahead and you bite the bullet and you announce it, even though it might have a bad look to it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that happened yesterday. Another thing that happened yesterday was Missouri naming sort of their starting quarterback. They get Central Arkansas, so it's really a dress rehearsal for them, and they're going to treat it as such. Bo Pribula is going to take the first snap, but he's going to split time with Sam Horn. Do you think Missouri, who did not make any of our playoff list, I believe they take a big step back. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like nobody thinks Missouri's going to contend for the playoffs this year. Do you think it's still a true quarterback battle between Pribula and Sam Horn?
I do.
It looks that way.
Yeah. I thought Pribula would be the guy, but Sam Horn, who's got more of a future in Major League Baseball, it seems, according to the scouts. But I think Eli Drinkwitz is unsettled, and I don't know what you're really going to get out of this game. I would assume both guys are going to play extremely well, right?
It's Central
Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like you're saying, you're not going to know after this.
Yeah, I don't think you've got a definitive starter when you take on Kansas.
And it's important then. I mean, I thought Kansas was very impressive.
Yeah.
I think they were playing a bad team, but they beat a bad team the way Kansas should beat a bad team, right? I thought they were very impressive. That's a tough game. What's the point spread on that, you think?
Oh, that game is in Arrowhead, right? Or is it Lawrence?
I think it's actually – no, it's in Como, right?
Yeah, it's in Columbia.
It's in Columbia.
Okay.
Central Arkansas, Missouri?
No. Missouri, Kansas.
Missouri, Kansas. I think it's a home game. Yeah, it's Perot Field.
Okay. Missouri will be a 3.5, 4-point favorite.
Yeah, that's a really, really difficult guy. I see it right here. Actually, Missouri's a 6.5-point favorite, Lance, if you want to jump on. MyBookie.ag.
They haven't played each other in that great rivalry game since 2011, since Missouri joined the league.
Yeah, that was number 1 versus number 2, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
No, that was
one back then.
Excuse me, that was 2006.
Yeah, which is amazing that game was ever number 1 versus number 2, but in fact it was.
Yeah, I would tell you this, that Missouri performed really well early on, but 2011 for the border war. That's one that means a lot to the Missouri and Kansas folks. They should play that one every year. Hopefully that can get worked in to future schedules. All right, when we come back, Brownie will let us know about the captain's pick with the Ryder Cup at some point in the show today. We've also got a new SEC contract, people that don't like Farmageddon, 4 downs, and our sneaky good game. A ton of stuff still to get to on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicators, where you find Johnston RV Center, and always online at JohnstonRVCenter.com. That is JohnstonRVCenter.com. You can find everything there, including RVs that are priced in just about every price range, as low as $129 a month with approved credit, all the way up to those big motor homes. You can find something that is priced for you, an RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on everything that is new or qualifying pre-owned. Johnston RV Center. See more at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Chenard.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and Bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Okay, before LT tells you about Michelson, let's look ahead to a couple of this or that things in college football this year. God, I don't know. I don't want to jump on any of your 4 down questions. Is 4 downs all celebrity birthdays today by chance?
No, it is not.
Okay. I don't want to do that yet.
Oh, you can go ahead.
I don't want to get on. Some of this could be.
Well, why don't we just go on and do 4 downs?
Yeah, do 4 downs, and we'll do this or that later.
That's what I was doing. We'll do this or that later, just in case. 4 downs today, brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about those fine folks.
205-969-8100. That is the number that I called back in 2003. I've got the 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
First down.
Oh, which freshman quarterback has more total touchdowns this year? Notre Dame's C.J. Carr or Michigan's Bryce Underwood?
I will go C.J. Carr. If he's the starter wire to wire, I don't think this is even a question. Your only issue is if C.J. Carr doesn't hold that job. You think Underwood probably will.
I think Underwood's going to be more talented. I don't know what to expect from either one of these guys right out of the chute. I do think Notre Dame's got better skill, especially at the wide receiver position. So I would agree. I would go Carr, but I think Underwood's going to be a better player.
I'll go Underwood. I think Jeremiah Love eats up all.
Well,
he's the cookie monster of touchdowns at Notre Dame.
And I know this, they're not on your board, but if Underwood is that good, Michigan's very close to a playoff team for you.
Oh, yeah. I think they could be.
I've only got 3 Big Ten teams on my board.
Me too.
Mainly because, LT has USC, being in the playoffs. I think Nebraska is going to be close to the playoffs. I think Illinois is going to be close to the playoffs. I think Michigan's going to be close to the playoffs. I think Washington's going to be close to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of 9-3, 8-4s.
Yeah, so I think they're going to end up hurting themselves a little bit like the SEC did last year when they only got 3 in.
Second down.
Which first-time starting quarterback turns it over more on Saturday? Julian Saban versus Texas or Ty Simpson at Florida State?
I'll say Saban versus Texas. Saban's playing a better defense than Texas. Everything against Texas, he's playing a better defense than what Ty Simpson will face. Let me clear that up. Everything we've heard about Ty Simpson and all the Alabama quarterbacks, they're not turning the football over. So there's indications there against a really good, when it's ones-on-ones, they're going against a good defense, that they are protecting the football. So I'll bank that is true, and Simpson turns it over less than Saban.
I will agree with you, and I think the reason why is the pass rush of Texas will force Saban to maybe gets hit as he throws one, maybe he has to throw one a little quick or whatever. I think it'd just be too much pressure from the Longhorns against Saban. I'm not sure they win the game. I just think it's a tougher situation for Julian Saban.
Third down.
But again, I think it could be 1 interception to nothing. I don't think either one of them are like Pez dispensers.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was 0-0.
I would agree completely.
I actually believe Ty Simpson will actually throw more passes than Julian Saban will in the game.
Just attempts. These 4, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, and Clemson, who can least afford a loss this weekend? Obviously, all can. But to me, it's LSU, just based on you've still got Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina, A&M, Alabama, and Oklahoma on that schedule. And if you get behind the 8 ball again for the 4th consecutive year under Brian Kelly, it really has defined whether or not they're going to get to a college football playoff.
I think LSU can lose and survive. Texas obviously can lose and survive and make the playoff. Who was the 3rd team?
Well, I mean, it's the big 4 in those 2 games, Ohio State and Texas.
It's to me, of the big games, Notre Dame and Miami, the outcome has the biggest impact on the playoffs.
I would agree. I wanted to come back to that. You talked about it. I've got a thought on that. But of this grouping you've given us, I think I'd have to say LSU.
Yeah, probably so, because
they just what's left on their schedule.
Yeah, I mean, four losses still in play if LSU loses.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the remainder of their schedule, and you have already lost a lot of margin for error, and there's still a lot of possibility for error.
Yeah,
I can't say that about Clemson. I really can't say it about Ohio State or Texas.
Yeah, Texas' schedule
Texas more
bad.
so.
Yeah, it would be LSU, Texas, Ohio State, Clemson in that order, probably for me.
Fourth down.
But do you agree with me that the biggest playoff impact of the big ones this weekend is Notre Dame?
Here's
Miami?
why, and I'll just say what I'm going to say quickly. The loser of this game, if it's Miami, you still face a home game against Florida and a road game at Florida State. I don't know if Florida State's going to be any good, but we think they're going to be improved, right? And that's all in September. If you're Notre Dame and you lose this, you've still got a home game against Texas A&M. And a road game at Arkansas in September.
It's still USC.
It's still USC down the road. But I'm only looking at September. Like the loser of this Notre Dame-Miami game, on the table, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you're on the table for a disastrous September because you've still got some difficult games ahead of you.
It's such an unknown with CJ Carr. I thought about leaving Notre Dame out because I think this schedule, a lot of people think it's easy. I think it's a little more difficult, especially on the front end of it.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you guys. I think that does have the most implications.
And listen, I know you're going to give me third down here in a second, but I wanted to make this point quick, that Notre Dame's path to not making the playoffs only comes into play if they lose this game on Sunday.
I think I agree with you.
I think they're a playoff team if they beat Miami. If they lose to Miami, all of a sudden, not that they're not going to miss the playoffs, but that's how big this game is. If they lose to Miami, that's how you can get to 3 losses.
In other words, you're saying if they beat Miami, it's hard for me to believe they're going to lose to Texas A&M, at Arkansas, and against USC.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe they're going to lose all three of these.
I think so. If Xavier Restrepo was back, if Damian Martinez was back, I'd feel a lot better about Miami. But I think Miami is going to do everything they can to sell out against Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. And they're going to make CJ Carr have to beat them. And I think Carson Beck, the way he was playing before the injury against Texas, he was playing really, really good football. I've just got a sneaky feeling that Miami's going to win this game.
I'm with you, LT, and I think that puts that Texas A&M Notre Dame game into the huge category.
Oh yeah, if you're Notre Dame, that's basically a must-win.
So Darren McFadden, the late great Arkansas Razorback, 38 years old today. If I asked you actually who was the better college running back, Darren McFadden or Mark Ingram?
I'd go McFadden.
Oh, I'd go McFadden.
Yeah. Now, Ingram was on a better team, obviously, though those Arkansas teams were really good. But that was a national championship level team that Ingram was on.
Yeah, I had to reword it because the better college career was Ingram because he won a national championship and a Heisman.
But McFadden was the better running back. Ingram was never a guy that I watched, and every time he touched the ball, you're like, this could go to the house. McFadden was that guy.
Yeah.
And there are very few of those. Like Herschel was that guy. Bo Jackson was that guy. Derrick Henry was that guy. McFadden, I mean, it's that type of running back where every time he touched it, you thought it could go.
Not only McFadden went to a bad organization with the Raiders, but was it not turf toe that he just could not shake?
Yeah, he did battle that, I think.
Yeah. It seemed like he always had turf toe once he got to the NFL.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you guys. I think it was McFadden.
And just for my own knowledge, turf toe is really a ligament issue in the toe, right?
I thought it was just a broken toe. I thought they'd just call it turf toe, but I could be wrong about that.
It is a ligament or a broken bone. It's not like an infection or scrape
it's not
or
an
anything
infection,
or anything like that.
It does sound like that. It's like he got too much grass in his toe.
Yeah, it's a turf toe. It's a chronic toe problem issue there, which hurts your planning, your running, your cuts, and all that. McFadden, for me, though Mark Ingram was fantastic. Ironically, both played a Wildcat situation. Ingram did it against South Carolina in the national championship.
McFadden did it a lot.
McFadden did the Wild Hog a lot.
A lot, yeah, and they should have. I mean, Houston Nutt went to that an awful lot, and both of them were in stacked backfields. Like McFadden had Felix Jones and the guy that played at Denver. Why can't I not say his name? Peyton Hillis. And, of course, Ingram had Trent Richardson behind him. I mean, they were both in very deep backfields that took carries away from them. I mean, you couldn't keep Felix Jones and Trent Richardson off the field.
Yep. Is that 4?
That's 4.
That's 4 downs. Let's do our Bojangles tender moment of the day. If you can get me cut number 8, Tyler, cut number 8. It's brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
Hey, Bojangles is your tailgate option. They're your home party option when you're watching the college football games. because one thing they know is you need great food for football, and they got it for you at Bojangles. They brought us some lunch yesterday. We greatly appreciate that. They've got those great hand-breaded tenders, and nothing pairs better with those than the great sauces they've got as well. From sweet to eat, they got 7 options. How about honey mustard if you want the sweet, some tang with barbecue. You want a little heat, creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. You want smooth and creamy. House-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic bow sauce ready and waiting. So head to Bojangles or order some hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today. It's bow time.
All right, our tender moment of the day with our buddy Brad Law as the lead actor takes you down to Toomer's Corner in Auburn.
Welcome to your first day at Auburn. Today we're going to be talking about the greatest tradition in all of college sports, rolling Toomers. First things first, after a win, we head straight to Toomer's Corner with the Auburn family.
Got it.
After each win, Tiger fans swarm Toomer's Corner to throw their toilet paper in the trees.
Hold on. I don't use this dry stuff. I'm more of a dude wipes kind of guy. TP's for the trees, but Auburn Tigers use dude wipes. War Eagle.
Dude Wipes NIL for Jackson Arnold there.
Got to show that valuation, man.
That's right. I don't know if Jackson's going to win an Oscar for that. But
Probably not going to go the route of Mark Harmon you brought up, the former UCLA quarterback.
But dude wipes with Jackson Arnold. Good for him, man.
Considering, keep in mind, in that where Brad Law was probably the best actor, Albee was second.
The dude wipes was third.
I think Brad played it pretty well. I give Brad credit for that. I mean, Piedmont, Alabama's own Brad Law.
I thought Brad was about to say, now who's the cheesiest?
Hey, by the way, that's going. Did y'all notice that in week 1? 100%.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but it's just ingrained in my head.
Cheez-It they had a whole new advertising campaign.
Verbo with Saban's back. I saw it again this morning.
I liked Who's the Cheesiest better than I did the...
Oh, Jim.
Oh, the one with the lady eating the Cheez-It cat?
I don't care. I mean, I'm not crazy about that commercial. But
and it was twice a commercial break sometimes.
There was a lot of the eating the cat on the plane.
Yeah, but Who's the Cheesiest was 4 or 5 years running.
It's an FCC violation, by the way. Or what did the FAA violation?
FCC or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
FAA is planes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I meant. Yeah. I don't know where we're going with the Boz either, but
it seems like we're outplaying him, downplaying him.
The Boz is a great sheriff.
The Boz is very good in those commercials. We need more of him. Yeah.
I mean, I think Nick Saban's an incredible property owner.
How about this shot at Shedeur Sanders in the Dr. Pepper commercial? The quarterback's taking a slide in the draft. Our quarterback's taking a slide in the draft. I've never seen anyone slide this far, and it's still going at the end of the commercial. I was like, the Sanders didn't sign off on this, did they? All right. We've done our 4 down. Sneaky good game in the next segment. I want to get back to Ty Simpson yesterday, cut number 4 if we can. Ty had a chance to talk to some former Alabama quarterbacks. I mean, you sat here now. You got McElroy, who's in Birmingham, an ESPN analyst and on Jocks. And you got Coker, who does some stuff with us. And then down in the Bay Area, he's still close by. You have a lot of these winning quarterbacks still. A.J. McCarron is back. He's easily accessible now. You can catch him on his podcast, The Dynasty. So Ty Simpson was asked about his conversations with some former Alabama quarterbacks, including some that have recently won Super Bowls or been to the NFL. What about the family tree, Ty?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to AJ quite a bit. John Parker Wilson, Bryce, Jalen, teammates of mine. And they all said this, some of the same things are just like, hey, trust your preparation, trust your confidence, and just go play, man. That's something that I really took from Jalen, just because, he always used to say that, whether I, went in when we were up big or went in the Oklahoma game, he was just like, man, just go play. And that's something that, I just kind of take even in practice, like, hey, I didn't get a chance to play my first 3 years. And so now that the opportunity is here, I'm just going to go take control of it and just go have fun.
Yeah, so some big-name former teammates there. Go ahead.
I mean, well, I was going to say, it's interesting to hear that because there are a lot of times you've seen these coaches take over. So In the Saban era, you frequently saw Saban players coming back to games. They were honored, on the sidelines. They would show them the jumbotron. I assume they were welcome at practice. They played for him. A lot of times you're going to have a coaching changeover. Coaches sometimes like to limit that. They want to make it more about than the old guys, and they don't necessarily embrace the old guys.
Which I've never understood that.
I never have either. Why would you not do that?
I want my sideline like Miami's sideline was back in the day when Michael Irvin and Warren Sapp was on the sideline.
That's right. And that didn't matter.
Does nothing but help recruiting.
And that didn't matter if Jimmy Johnson was the coach or Dennis Erickson was the coach or Larry Coker. All those guys were welcome back. And it sounds like in the DeBoer era, he's not discouraging his quarterback from talking to the old Saban guys.
Yep.
He's not discouraging his quarterback from talking to Nick Saban. In fact, we've already had that on the show today. So I do think that's kind of an interesting look at how Kalen DeBoer is going to deal with that as these guys continue to have bye weeks and they come back on the sidelines. I'm with you guys. Why would you not want as many NFL guys on that sideline as you can get? I don't care if they played for me or played for Nick Saban. That's helping my recruiting.
Listen, one of our NIL guys, Peyton Thorne, last year, clued us in on how he would get hit up on Venmo from guys after a loss who lost money gambling, and people would call him names, threaten him, and say, I lost X amount of dollars. Here's my Venmo. Send me that money.
Right.
Venmo and the NCAA announced yesterday that they have a partnership where they're trying to curb the harassment of players. Laws are being passed to prevent it from happening for college athletes. Venmo has set up a hotline for student athletes to call if they're getting harassed on there, and they've got more oversight to where fans could actually be banned from Venmo if they're harassing college athletes and trying to get some money from them in that situation.
That was the only time I ever heard of that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. But when Peyton Thorne brought that up on our show last year, I haven't heard any other athletes say that, but obviously it's a problem.
It got national attention when he said it on our show, and to the point that other athletes have come out and said the same type of thing. And so much so the NCAA, Venmo, actually state laws are being passed. Not the worst list I've ever seen from USA Today, but I did want to bring this up. College football is USA Today's most powerful list. Greg Sankey's number one.
He should be.
It's a sad list, actually. It really is. Sankey's number one. Burke Mangus, ESPN president, is number two.
I don't disagree with that.
He's the most powerful guy in college football.
I mean,
okay.
You seem like you're shaking your head.
No, okay, I'm saying, I mean, there's a reason these coaches are getting these massive contracts.
I'm not disagreeing that the list is true until I get to 11, but Sankey is one. Burke Mangus, ESPN president, is two. Tony Petitti is three. Mark Silverman, who is the president of Fox and CEO, is four.
Yeah, so you basically got the two power conference commissioners and their TV networks.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Then gets to the sad part. Number five is Steve Berman and Jeffrey Kelcer combo.
Tell me who those people are.
Oh, they're antitrust attorneys.
Oh, yuck.
Number six is Claudia Wilkin, the federal judge.
Yeah.
Who continues to,
we got in a yucky part of this list quick.
Jimmy Sexton is 10 on the list.
He might should be in front of the judges.
I would think that he should be.
Yeah, I mean, that guy controls.
Those are very interchangeable, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, could you not have any of those judges do the same thing?
Yeah, she just happened to be the one that got the cases. But Jimmy Sexton controls so many chess pieces in college football.
President Donald Trump is number 11. And here's my problem with the list. The President of the United States is the most powerful person in the world. But he's 11th in the college football world.
Because he's only blushing at college football.
That's right. Yeah. He hasn't really dug his teeth in just yet.
But it should be like a footnote, other than the President of the United States, who is the most powerful person in the world all the time, who is also interested at times in college football, we didn't put him on this list because he's the most powerful person in the world. But to put him at number 11 on the list is asinine to me. Doesn't make sense. How can you be the most powerful person in the world,
but only 11th?
But 11th in college football.
I mean, if I'm Greg Sankey, that's one heck of a flex. I'm number one on a power list where Donald Trump's 11th.
I'd be showing it to my kids.
That's right. You see the president right there at 11. I'm number one.
Nick Saban, by the way, 19th still on the list.
Is Klatt on that list? He should be.
I don't think Klatt's on there.
No,
I think Herbstreit's 25.
Herbstreit's your most powerful college football media member.
But I think
Klatt's
I think both should be included.
I think Herb Street's
I wouldn't have a problem with
25.
that. Yeah.
I mean, those guys, when they talk, everyone listens when it comes to college football. They are the voices and the faces of college football.
And at the end of the season, Jim, when they rank the most watched college football games, I would say at least 8 of the 10, Klatt or Herb Street were on the call.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At least 8 of the 10, if not 10 of the 10.
Real quickly before we get to the top of the hour, and LT tells us about our friends at Twin Peaks, the captain's pick for the Ryder Cup has been announced. Is DeChambeau make the list?
DeChambeau he earned his way.
Okay, he earned it. Okay, who are the captain's picks today? It looked like I saw Justin Thomas.
Just real quickly, I'll remind you who earned their way in. Scotty Scheffler, J.J. Spahn, Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Harris English, Bryson DeChambeau. Those are the guys that earned their spot based on the points ranking. So the captain gets 6 picks, and he added to that list, as you said, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, Patrick Cantley, Cam Young, and Ben Griffin. A game I normally play with you. I did not play here. I count 1, 2, 3.
Is this SEC?
4, 5. At least 5 SEC players on there.
Now, where's the Big Ten here?
Yeah. Big Ten doesn't do a ton in golf there.
Truthfully, would the Ryder Cup be more interesting if it was the U.S. versus the SEC?
Probably would be.
Maybe so. Yeah.
I think for us here in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's at Bethpage, right?
Bethpage Black, up in New York, the People's Course.
Should happen in August.
It should.
Before football.
I mean, there's no reason for it not to. All the majors are gone.
Yep.
I mean, the only reason is the tour schedule.
Calendar.
Yeah, the tour calendar. They try to shoehorn in a stupid FedEx Cup that really no golf fan cares about.
Tommy Fleetwood did, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was going to win that tournament,
The Ryder Cup's every other year?
Every other year, President's Cup, the off years.
I would be excited about the Ryder Cup. I never have been because it infringes on football.
It goes head to head with football.
Middle of football.
That's what we were at dinner last night. Maddie's like, you need to go to the U.S. Open sometime. And I was like, I would never go to the U.S. Open. The tennis.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Because it's right start of football.
Yeah,
Right.
first week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time. Why does the U.S. Open in tennis and the Ryder Cup happen in the middle of football season? Nothing should happen in the middle of football season. Our friends at Twin Peaks, there for your fantasy draft. A lot of people are knocking these out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantasy season is here. Twin Peaks, place to draft like a pro. From now through September 4th, reserve your fantasy football draft party at participating Twin Peak locations and score big. Draft kit loaded with everything you need. You're going to get that $50 kickback card for the commissioner. Also a $5 kickback card for every league guest. Don't settle for basic. Draft at the Lodge. Book now. Go to twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft. That's twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft. Home of the 29-degree draft. Twin Peak girls running around for lunch or dinner. Get into one of those great locations today.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Chenard.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com. Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show. We'll get to the spotlight here in just a second. Tyler and Forrester and Brooks behind the big glass. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown here with you. Our spotlight today is going to be the sneaky good games off the beaten path from the Texas and Ohio States of the world. 3 games to maybe put on a 4th TV or one of the quad boxes for this weekend. Before we get to that, though, our show always brought to you in the final hour by the wonderful folks at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Listen, office meetings during the football season, pizza is fine, but it gets old. I'm telling you, the news directors on Friday nights who feed their high school football staffs, coaches who are getting together for meetings, watching films on the high school level. Go to a place like Champy's Chicken and get some great to-go food, chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order, juicy to the bone. And then the hand-cut chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the po' boys, chicken sandwich. They've got it all for you there. It is so delicious. In-house homemade sides, desserts, and an unbelievable bar menu. Happy hours, lunch and dinner every day of the week, tailgating food, office meetings. They got it all for you at champyschicken.com. Let's hit the spotlight, Tyler. Do it, man.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
And a Shannara Spotlight each day presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. Birmingham-based, Birmingham-born, Birmingham-bred. He is a Birmingham guy, more than 24 years. His firm has grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Looking at the schedule, to me, the early window on Saturday is better than the prime time window.
I agree.
On Saturday.
A lot of really, really good competitive 11 o'clock games.
Okay, so obviously at 11 o'clock, we've got Texas, Ohio State on Fox, Syracuse and Tennessee on ABC, Browns upset alert, Mississippi State, Southern Miss at 11 o'clock on ESPN, my upset alert, Toledo and Kentucky on the SEC network at 11:45. But there's a sneaky good game, LT, in that 11 o'clock hour for you.
Yeah, I mean, this might look gross on the surface. Some people believe Tulane could be your Group 5 rep this year. They're breaking in Jake Retzloff at quarterback, Northwestern, heading down to New Orleans. Look, David Braun's third year. Surprised everybody and was some people's National Coach of the Year in year one when he came in after the controversy and the firing of Pat Fitzgerald. He went 8-5. They dropped back to 4-8 last year, but Preston Stone transfers in at quarterback from SMU. Cam Porter will get a ton of touches at running back. You've got two really good edge guys led by Aiden Hubbard. I think this game goes to the wire. By the way, it's already just dropped to 5.5. Tulane's only a 5.5-point favorite. I think this one is a one-possession game. I think Northwestern keeps it entirely close. Could win the game outright.
Could win the game outright. That would disrupt your hope for the playoffs right off the bat. Tulane's with Retzloff coming in. That's sort of
well, that's a late ad, though. I mean, I mean, you'd have to assume he's got the whole playbook, but boy, he's had to learn it quick.
But when you lose your outstanding quarterback to an NIL deal to Duke.
Yeah, Darian Mensah goes to Duke, and you're going to be a little bit of a downgrade. Retzloff was good for BYU last year. It was kind of all over the place. I mean, Preston Stone, a lot of people believed he was going to be the starting quarterback until Kevin Jennings really separated himself for Rhett Lashlee. I just think Preston Stone's going to be a major upgrade at Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean, but think about what you're about to say there, Jim, is you're Tulane. You lose your quarterback to Duke on an NIL deal. You backfill with a Big 12 starter.
Yeah, and that's why that was my point. Losing your quarterback to Duke, and all of a sudden I forgot about Tulane as a G5 participant in the playoffs.
Until
you bring in BYU's Retzloff all of a sudden, who would have had, if he'd have stayed at BYU, may have been BYU in the college football playoffs.
He was going to be their starter.
So now he's at Tulane. That's why they're back into the college football playoff.
I think that'll be a hell of a game, though, on ESPNU at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's move to the midday window where we'll get two sneaky good games. You go first, Brownie.
Yeah, mine's so sneaky, it could be off of YouTube TV. It is on Fox, so hopefully we'll get to see this game. 2:30 from Jack Trice Stadium. The Iowa State Cyclones already 1-0 because they won a game in Ireland. But you know what you have to do when you play in Ireland?
Fly back.
You got to fly back. You got to adjust your body clock. You got to hear.
You got to give us a game with a number, though.
I do. I found a number on this, Lance. I found one.
I would say that it's probably a lot lower than you think. I would say Iowa State 16.
14.5. South Dakota is one of the favorites.
Betting
odds.
State.
Nope. South Dakota, Jim. One of the favorites.
Oh, okay.
Betting odds to win the FCS.
Give me their mascot.
I'll give you a hint.
Is it up there? The PE teacher in Porky's.
Lassie. By the way, do you know who that was, the actress? Because I'm sure you watched the series in its entirety. Kim Cattrall.
Was it really? Yeah.
I
didn't know that.
A young lassie, yeah.
So I've made a mistake on our TV list. I had her down to South Dakota State.
Anyway, it's the Coyotes.
The Coyotes.
So
Is it like a coyote?
It's not the Jackrabbits.
It is not the Jackrabbits. Okay. But South Dakota State was a semifinal, or South Dakota, was a semifinal team in the FCS playoffs last year. They're among the 5 favorites to win the FCS this year. This goes against my rule that I have a long-standing rule. If you're going to schedule an FCS team, schedule the worst one you can.
Yeah,
I do not know why you schedule a good FCS teams, because you don't get any more credit for beating a good FCS team than you do a crappy FCS team. So if you're going to go FCS, find as bad as you can get.
Maybe this is why they're good, because they find these games and they get $1 million to play for a really close loss and sometimes an upset win.
Yep. But South Dakota, closer than the experts think. This will be a sneaky good 2:30 game on Fox.
All right, Brownie. 3 o'clock, Big Ten Network, Montana State, Oregon. Same thinking. Montana State, number 2 in the FCS to start the season. Montana State, runner-up in the FCS last year. On the road to Oregon, Dante Moore starting for Oregon. Replacing your quarterback with some talent in Montana State, you do have Adam Jones, one of your running backs, back that rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. You got Taco Dowler back. You got Chris Long from Rutgers at Montana State. He transferred in. You've got an offensive line that is back with a lot of good talent and a defense that's underrated that could cause some problems for Dante Moore. I don't know if you found a sneaky betting line on Montana State, Oregon there.
I can find it.
But Oregon had issues. Who was it with a couple of years?
It was Idaho last year.
Yeah,
and I think a little bit different, and I'm just assuming that Will Stein didn't want to show a lot because he had such an experienced quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. It might be a little bit different this year with Dante Moore, but they only won that game 24-14 last year. And then they struggled the very next week at home against Boise, and then things kind of opened up for that offense.
And it ended up being number one going into the playoffs. Utah-UCLA, I thought it was too good of a game to call it sneaky, 10 o'clock on Fox, but that's going to be a fun game. If Nico is as good as people are saying he is at UCLA camp, Utah is some people's Big 12 picks. That could be a fun game.
I think the better quarterback on the field in that game will be Devin Dampier coming in from New Mexico. But I do think Nico's going to be good. And, we gave Deshaun Foster no chance to do anything last year, and they were highly competitive.
I've got this Oregon playing host to Montana State. I have found an outlaw line at 27.5, which is a little bigger than you would have thought. But keep in mind now, I don't know what that line was in that week 1 game last year that came down to the very end. I would imagine Oregon at home.
It was probably 4 touchdowns too against Idaho.
And that game
I agree with you. I would play both dogs in y'all's spot.
Yeah.
All right. So those are sneaky good games brought to you by our friends Alexander Shinara.
Shinara.com. You never pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara. Shinara.com.
And our friends right there at A+. Brownie, tell us about what went on with your family before we continue with more college football and talk Josh Heupel contract.
Well, we bought our house about a decade ago, and Scott is showing you some befores of our master bathroom. We just wanted it a little bit darker and more updated, so my wife scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. And once we decided to do it, she decided to hire Brad Bell, and I am so glad she did. Brad did tremendous work at our house. He came out, we gave him our vision, and that's the vision we got. He didn't try to sell us on some other vision or do it the easy way. He was like, I want it to be your vision. And I want to see your vision come to life. And that's exactly what happened. His crews were on time every day. They did great work. They showed us their work at the end of the day to make sure it met our expectations. And it did every single day. Brad specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. And that's not all he does, but it is certainly what he specializes in. And he can do the same for you. 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758, or AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's AlabamaBathRemodels.com.
Update from Tallahassee, California. End zone gate continues on. Forster, can I get Forster's microphone in the back?
Hey, Jim.
Forster, can you tell me, is it white? Is it garnet? Is it white? I mean, all these Florida State fans were all excited on the internet that it was going to be white. Oh, we're going back to the white end zones. Is it white?
We're going to break some hearts.
Oh,
They're
no.
not white.
Oh, they're not white.
Oh, man.
Garnet.
Why
Darn it.
Why not white, Scott? Why did they not go white?
Hey, they've got money. Mike Alford, the AD. This may be a ploy, Scott. They may be garnet end zones until warm-ups, and then they go back in the locker room and they pull the tarp off and they're white paint underneath there. So this garnet, not
That'd be
white.
easy to pull off, right?
Yeah. Boy, look at all those individual seats.
Have you guys ever
on this
been there?
side
I've been on campus, but I've never been to that stadium. Yesterday we were doing Bama and Bourbon, which is Bama and Bourbon already out?
Yep.
It is.
Aaron Suttles was talking about, he'll be with the team going on the road this year, but he was talking about how massive that stadium is just to get around it because there's so many other things in that stadium.
What's cool?
Their film school is actually inside that stadium.
So random.
Yeah, what's cool about that stadium is you don't realize it's a stadium.
Yeah, looks like a building on campus.
It looks like a building on campus, and then you notice the lights at the top of it, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's Doak Campbell.
I don't understand the black seats.
Well, that's what I was pointing out, all those individual seats that they've done in the renovation.
Those are new.
Yeah, brand new.
Hot as hell in the summer.
It would seem like it'd burn your back of your thighs when you sit down on that
Well,
thing.
and those Florida State fans, a lot of them like to go shirtless.
Oh, yeah.
Peel that skin right
and
out.
shorts.
Jorts.
Yep. That's Florida.
More of a Florida
Hey,
thing.
can you zoom in?
It's Florida overall, man. I mean, pick
Right?
your campus.
There'll be jorts in this stadium, too.
Never mind. I was going to ask you to zoom in on that midfield logo. They're still painting that, though. That's the standard Seminole logo. I thought they had changed their midfield logo for some reason.
Just incomplete.
Yeah, they're just not done. That is a good. I like that midfield logo.
But we still have they're one of three schools with the interesting
goalpost.
Yeah.
LSU's got those. Florida State's got them, and who else?
Is it Georgia Tech?
Maybe the Ramblin' Wreck has them. I know FSU and LSU, but I can't remember the third.
I don't know who the third is either. Truthfully, I didn't remember Florida State having it.
Yeah.
I only thought LSU had it. Then there you go. The end zone gate closed. We now know who it is. Josh Heupel has a new contract. It's extended through 2030. Haven't seen any details to this, but he's 2-1 in the last 3 years against Bama, 2-1 the last 3 years against Florida. That's a good place to start for the Tennessee coach, right?
Oh, absolutely. And again, I'll stick with it, man. Joey Aguilar, 14-11, 2 years at Appalachian State. If he is able to work 8-9 win magic with Aguilar, that's going to be very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he'll get it, but I think you start talking SEC Coach of the Year if they're a 9-win team after losing his starting quarterback in spring and having to scramble to replace him. If they can somehow carve out 9 wins, I think start talking about Josh Heupel as Coach of the Year.
Speaking of that, do you think, who are the SEC teams that you had in your 12-team playoff?
It included Auburn,
LSU, Georgia, Texas,
Auburn,
Alabama.
LSU,
That's all you had to
Georgia,
say.
Texas, and Alabama.
If our three held up in any direction we wanted to go, your SEC Coach of the Year would be Billy Napier.
Billy Napier, he took him to the playoffs. In my playoffs, it'd be Billy Napier.
Yeah, your SEC Coach of the Year would be
Hugh Freeze.
And mine would be Brent Venables.
Yeah.
I mean, if those teams get to a college football playoff, those have to be your SEC Coaches of the Year.
Because no expectations as far as making it to the playoffs for any of those three guys.
No.
In fact, all three of those guys are on the hot seat.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a path to losing the job. Less with Venables because he most recently got the extension with the bigger buyout.
Ooh.
Just
the opposite for me.
Oh,
I think Venables is more likely to lose his job.
I'm only talking about money, though. But, I mean, that's got to be a pretty big buyout in that contract. He just got it a year ago.
Or it could have been reworked.
Could have been.
It could be
if that's the case, yes.
Less of a
Hugh Freeze is very Auburn-friendly. The buyout in Hugh Freeze is by design. Hugh accepted that because he was getting a second bite at the apple in the SEC. So it's a very Auburn-friendly buyout. So his is the most easily to digest.
Fair to say that more likely that our three guys get fired than make the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree.
If you were to say 2 of the 3 make the playoffs or all 3 get fired, I would go with all 3 getting fired.
That's crazy. I didn't understand this, but in the broadcast on ESPN, they never referred to it as Farmageddon this past weekend.
Why so? I think that's a great name.
What is it, a slight to the farmers of the world?
Kansas State and Iowa State both requested that the game not be referred to as Farmageddon. This is being reported by several people post that, and moving forward, they would prefer that the rivalry game, not be referred to as Farmageddon. So I assume that is not officially the name. I've just ever since I maybe it was Reese Davis that named it that. I don't know.
Yeah, we are so sensitive.
But with whoever, I don't know why they've decided not to do it. But
well, that's what I mean. So obviously, somebody complained.
No. I think I know.
Both schools do not want it called that.
Yeah, I would say there is a chance that they look at this and if I'm selling a 18-year-old kid to come play school, is he more likely to go to a place that's known for farming or a place that's known for fun or beach or sunshine or something like that?
I mean, when they get to Ames or Manhattan, Kansas, you're going to see it for yourself.
Well, I've never been to Manhattan or Ames. But, I mean,
it's not witness protection where they've got a bag over their head.
But I also thought it made sense because it was in Ireland, in the middle of, there's a bunch of farmers there.
But I'm just, so you've been to Manhattan. If I go to Manhattan, Kansas, that's not a good college town? If I'm a recruit and I go there?
I'm not saying it's not a bad college town. I'm just saying that it is in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it is, but and you realize that when you travel there, I'm sure. And by
the way, we should have a lot of pride for our farmers. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think there is, but if you're an 18-year-old kid, when you were 18, I said, Lance, it's down to the farm school or the Sunshine School. Which one are you picking?
Well, which one? Who's paying me more, Brown?
Okay, well, they're paying the same.
Well, if they're paying the same, I'm probably going to go Sunshine because I don't like the cold. But it has nothing to do with the farm. It's more the cold.
Well, I mean, I think there's an image thing that they're trying to get away from.
I don't think it was recruiting. But you could be right.
I don't think it's farmers complaining. I think farmers would have loved it.
Well, I don't know, back in Farm Aid, when they did those back in the day, I don't know if there was a headline ever, Farmageddon, where disasters on America's farms and things like that.
It's a great name for a football rivalry.
I thought it was fantastic.
I still call it the Red River Shootout and the Cocktail Party, and I'll still call this Farmageddon.
Only 4.01 million people watched the game, though. I thought it'd be a lot more than that.
But I don't know if you remember, we were surprised, and I'd have to go back and find it, how low the Georgia Tech Florida State number was last year. Because that was such a good game.
I think a lot of it is because it is week 0. People are still traveling, getting back into school, all that kind of stuff. It's an 11 o'clock kick. Florida State, that's a decent brand, but when you've got Iowa State and Kansas State, those aren't brands.
In the commercial break, Brown, which one was on main CBS?
Stanford, Hawaii, Stanford. God, I can't imagine how bad that was.
But it was on main CBS in prime time, so just check and see if, in the commercial break what that number is. I just thought that was interesting.
The website I used to get those numbers from easily shut down, so it's going to be a little more difficult, but I'll see what I can do.
Back to Alabama and Auburn's coaches after LT tells us about our friends at CPAP Plus. We gave you some sleeper picks right there for our sleeper games coming up.
Can you sing the song Sleep Home Alabama?
Sleep Home Alabama.
That is the website, sleephomealabama.com. Our friends at CPAP Plus, the best home sleep testing and CPAP out there. You don't want to deal with the lab. You don't want to deal with the insurance. Guess what? You don't have to deal with either. $199 home sleep test, just easy to wear fingertip devices, clinically validated that connect to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. 5 locations: Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. Again, Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP, all available right there at sleephomealabama.com for $199. Check it out today.
By the way,
Sleep Home Alabama.
Where
my dreams are so sweet.
I can't remember my dreams anymore, by the way.
You can't remember your dreams?
Nope. Not at all.
I stumbled across on TikTok and then found the full version on YouTube. It's old. I don't know how old. It was New Year's Eve in Nashville one year. Kings of Leon bring out Chris Stapleton and they cover Simple Man, and it is terrific. By the way, I don't know the name of the lead singer of Kings of Leon, but he sounds an awful lot like Ronnie Van Zant singing that song. Have you ever seen it? It's it's a really good cover.
You know, Simple Man's not a song.
I would say you could take that up with Leonard Skinner, but most of the people that sing it are dead, so you really can't.
Who was the lead singer of Leonard Skinner?
Ronnie Van Zant.
He wrote it as a prayer.
Mama told me. Live at the Fox Theater is one of Leonard Skinner's live albums. It's really, really good. And he says in the lead up to that song, it's something I think his grandmom told him.
He wrote it as a prayer.
Did he really?
Yeah. Great song.
Oh, I love that song. Is that your favorite Skinner song?
I like Tuesday's Gone. But I like Simple Man a lot, too.
Yeah, I like Simple Man. I like Tuesday Gone. My favorite upbeat one is probably Give Me Back My Bullets.
I never cared for that one as much. You bring that one up some. I've never liked Give Me Back My Bullets.
I like it because it's giving middle finger to the record industry.
It is.
I want my songs.
Farmageddon, though, originated 2009.
Oh, so it's not that old.
No. Was it a Reese Davis?
It didn't say. It just said that they've been playing since 1917, but in 2009, somebody came out with Farmageddon.
Here's Kalen DeBoer as Bama gets ready to go to Tallahassee, where the end zones will be garnet and gold, no white. For Kalen DeBoer, he just hopes his team finds the end zone as they try to improve on road games this year.
For the team in general, just what are some of the points of emphasis going on the road this year where you can improve upon last year?
I think starting fast, right? You got to start fast. You dig yourself a hole on the road. It gets hard. The crowd gets behind the home team, and comes down to execution, which comes down to preparation and the work that's happening on the football field. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's the same old thing, but starting fast and giving yourself, not that you don't have the belief, but like another level of like momentum. And so as much as anything, taking it away from them, especially in an environment that we know is going to be a good one down there in Tallahassee.
You know, we talked with him at SEC Media Days, and we specifically brought this up. And he didn't say these words, but in a sense, he said these words. They didn't have the best road game plan going to Tennessee last year. I think they were taken aback by the crowd noise and how it impacted them. Both you guys were there. TV was late getting to that game, but Alabama struggled very early with the crowd in that game. And maybe I say very early, they might have struggled the whole game.
It was from what I remember, and I don't know how you remember it, Dunaway, I thought the crowd was really, really into it the entire game.
And it affected Alabama early. They started the game with a penalty. And I asked him at the SEC Media Days, did you learn something from that helped you in Baton Rouge? And he said they did. And sure enough, in Baton Rouge, now they did start the game, as he pointed out, with a penalty in Baton Rouge, but they were far better prepared to handle the crowd, and you saw the difference there. So I think, this guy's played at Alton Stadium, but in the Pac-12, where else do you think he's played that's anything like you get in the SEC? Oregon.
Washington, but he was the head coach.
He was the head coach at Washington.
Yeah.
That would be the only other one in the Pac-12.
If Corvallis was 3 times the size.
That's right. And keep in mind now, when he was the coach at Washington, Corvallis was having the redo, so they were playing in that smaller stadium. So my point there is, I think you probably learned something last year about playing on the road in the SEC, and this will be, even though it's a shrunken down stadium, they're saying 67,000 in the chat room. Is that what it is now?
That is. It's down to an NFL-like stadium.
Yeah.
A lot more chairback seating, a lot more suites.
Yeah, this used to be a really, really intimidating place to play. 67,000 is not that big in SEC terms, so I don't know how much the crowd noise will play a factor in this game.
Yeah, I think that's still bigger than Autzen.
Yeah, I think it is. I think Autzen's 62.
I would say this is about the size of Starkville and Oxford now.
Yeah.
Those are probably somewhere in that neighborhood.
And it gets plenty loud there.
Yeah, you have to deal with crowd noise there.
So that's Alabama on the road. Now Hugh Freeze taking his team Friday night, so we're getting to that almost 48 hours away from that. If you're Hugh Freeze, known as an offensive mind, new quarterback on the road against a defensive mind in Dave Aranda, he gets asked about maybe doing too much in a season opener.
How do you balance opening games by trying not to do too many things, let guys play free, but also make sure you kind of cover all the bases? How tough is that as a coach?
It's tough because you have too much time, and you'll have your mind set on this is what we should do, and then you watch another game or you watch another cut up, and you have 3 more ideas. Those ideas are worthless if your kids can't go out and execute it at a high level against different pitchers that you're going to see. And so I think, having done this a while, I'm very aware of that threat, and we have to balance that off of each other, saying, no, do we really, really need this? Because you can't get everything repped in practice, and you better rep the things that you think you're going to need to win the game over and over again against the different looks, and give your quarterback all of those looks. So, but that is hard for game one. It gets a little easier when you're in a normal week and you don't have much time. You're going to go with your gut and your first instinct usually in game planning. So that is a challenge in game one.
Trying not to do too much. I can understand how that'd be a problem.
Trying not to do too much. We're talking about playing 3 quarterbacks, and we got 3 different guys calling the plays.
He's got his plate full.
That's why I think when you get down to it, it'll be pared down to just Jackson Arnold. But I understand somebody was shocked when I said that the other day.
I agree with you. I think it's just Jackson. Maybe Deuce does have a package.
Yeah,
there is no way you're going to see Ashton Daniels.
Well, again, to your point, if you do, it's either really, really good or really, really bad. It's nothing in between.
All right. Trash coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them, our friends at Heupel Services. Listen, they've got a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week emergency hotline. If you lose your air conditioning or heat on a weekend, or you got something backed up on a weekend, you don't have to wait till Monday. Call our friends at Heupel.
Yeah, hard to stop a train. Our friends at Heupel Services awaiting your call. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing issues. Any of these arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hempillservices.com.
And our friends at Waiter Wellness, your journey to healthy living, aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com gets you to Leslie, her board certified team, Waiter Wellness. So many things that they offer you there, including opportunities to Maybe get a special diet if you're suffering from sleep apnea. If you've got diabetes or maybe you've got heart disease, they've got a diet plan for you. No plan is exactly the same. If you're just there to lose weight, that weight loss plan could be different than the one I use at Way to Wellness. I use these protein bars that keep me from bad snacking between meals there. Some people do injection therapy, meal replacements, and a lot more. You can see them all right there at aplanforme.com, and there's no contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
as we continue on getting ready for trash on the table in just a second. But before Brownie tells us about Alexander Shinar Trial and Attorneys, the great viewers and listeners that you guys have, Forrester has a little story to tell us, a little ditty, if you will, about
Is it Jack?
people not named Jack or Diane. Forrester, tell us about this cross-country journey that involved nextround.store.
Yes, so Ashley Ryan DM'd us some pictures of his cross-country journey to drop his daughter off at BYU.
Okay, so he's dropping his daughter off at BYU.
Holy cow,
Wow,
that's
okay.
a haul.
Yeah, he's here he is, with the TNR shirt at
Nichols
Matt
Stadium
place.
Oh, Matt Rules on Nebraska.
That's
okay.
Nebraska,
That's
yeah.
at Nebraska.
Yeah, Matt, that shirt's been in the football complex. Matt's been wearing it.
Has it been worn?
For one photo, at least.
Another one by the end zone there.
Oh, it's a good look. Yeah.
Cool.
Then we've got one up in Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
I've watched many late night games in that
Took a
stadium.
little detour.
Yeah, listen, I played that team a lot in my EA Sports college football years.
It's a cool setting.
And you get into those November games when you got a little ice on those evergreens by the scoreboard. It's a good looking field.
I think Clark Griswold could take one of those down.
Is that War Memorial?
War Memorial Stadium, which I thought the only one of those was in Arkansas, but apparently War Memorial is also in Wyoming.
Well, Legion Field was built as a memorial to our veterans. Yeah.
You think Josh Allen's been back there?
I bet he has.
It's a long way from Buffalo.
And then here we have Ashley with his daughter.
Good for him.
At BYU.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool setting.
Boy, he saw two beautiful stadiums at the end there. Or at least beautiful settings.
I really do want to go to a game there. And I know you want to go at night. I want to go in the day.
I see why you say that because of the mountain behind it. But those night games just seem like they're so much fun there.
I want to go in the snow.
Yeah, you can get it. That is to me, that seems like a difficult place to play. It seems like that crowd is very, very loud at BYU.
Would you hike up to the Y?
I'll tell you, it's a lot more difficult than you think. When I was
you've done this?
No, when I was in Bozeman.
Oh.
So back to Montana State. Who had Montana State as their under the radar game?
That was Jimmy D.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Montana State, they've got a similar. I forgot exactly what the logo on the side of the mountain is, and it's made with a bunch of
probably an
painted white rocks. No, I think it's just a big M actually. But we hiked up to that. Damn, boy, that's a lot of work.
The Y Trail, it's called. The block white Y on the mountain just east of Brigham Young University is recognized all over the world as an iconic symbol, leading to the Y, enjoyed by BU fans that are 1,000 feet in elevation. From start to end, you change 1,000 feet in elevation. It's a 2.25 mile hike.
And that's at altitude, so that feels a lot worse.
Yeah, not just altitude. It changes 1,000 feet
But
of altitude.
so when we hiked the mountain in Bozeman, I'm telling you, man, the degree of difficulty on that thing, just because of how steep it was.
Yeah.
Like, you really would have to catch your breath. Like, if you're not in decent shape, it's hard to get up one of those hills.
I do have some Alabama news real quick.
Yeah,
here.
there's the Y.
There's the Y.
Oh boy, that is. Look how steep that is. I didn't realize that Y was that steep.
Yeah, on the face of a mountain there.
Yeah.
All right, what's Alabama development
Kalen
news?
DeBoer on the SEC teleconference, which is ongoing right now. This, according to Nick Kelly of AL.com, says defensive lineman Tim Keenan will, quote, probably not be full go against Florida State.
So you're looking at Keenan on the defensive line, Jaden Roberts on the offensive line.
He did update Jaden Roberts. If you'll give me 1 second, Lance, he said, I'll pull that up. Now, he's not saying that Keenan will not play, just not a full go. Jaden Roberts, who's battling a concussion, quote, he's been practicing, very limited. He's making progress, but it's slow and steady. Nothing more than that, really. Yeah. So he's at least practicing, but he is very, very unlikely to play.
My expectation is for Roberts not to play, and for Keenan not to be a full go.
Sounds like he's limited at very best.
Yeah. I would say this, Keenan's position specifically, I've had this written down for 2 weeks now on a guy to watch, but he was limited at times during camp. Breakout year from James Smith on that defensive line, right there in the center of the line. Watch out for James Smith. Was that part of Bama and Bourbon yesterday by chance?
Nope. Not James Smith, no.
James Smith is giving me a little bit of Jonathan Allen vibes.
Oh.
Not as twitchy.
Say Jonathan Allen was one of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, not as twitchy as Jonathan Allen. He's not going to jump a snap and jump over a lineman and sack a quarterback.
Right. But who does?
But this guy has virtually the same size as Jonathan Allen.
Aaron Donald did.
And has been really, really good. James Smith. So keep an eye on him. And
Tim Keenan's I'm not saying a loss because it sounds like he can play. He's just limited. But that him not being on the field full time is significant.
Him not being 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
those
are, up front, that if you're looking for the biggest mismatch in this game, I would say it would have been up front.
Alexander Shinara Trial and Attorneys bring you that update from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara, Birmingham guy. So Birmingham, he's coming to our kickoff party tomorrow night down at Walk-On's 280. You can meet the great Alexander Shinara, have your picture made with him, chat it up with Alex. He loves the college football game. But as a Birmingham guy, he wanted to create a firm that could handle any issue Birmingham faced. Well, he's done that. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys now not only handle any personal injury claim, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. So when you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com. Shinara.com.
The LA LA Chargers, Najee Harris.
Big difference.
All right, LAC for both of those. The Los Angeles Chargers, Najee Harris, former Alabama running back, national champion, active roster now. Remember, he had that eye injury after a fireworks explosion in July 4th. It seriously injured one of his friends, but he had a little eye. Cleared to go. They expect him to play week 1 for the Chargers. New Orleans named Spencer Rattler their quarterback, QB1. Spencer Rattler, 6th-round draft pick. Did you ever think you'd see the day?
I did not. I never thought I'd see the day where Tyler Shuck would be a starting quarterback either, and it came down to both of those guys for Kellen Moore, and I think you'll see both play this year. I mean, I would be shocked if Spencer Rattler is still a starting quarterback in the NFL next year. I think it's just a stopgap.
Well, it's a stopgap till you've got the first pick. I mean, there's a chance it could be Arch Manning or Garrett Nussmeier or someone like that this time next year for the Saints.
Brownie, look up betting odds for the upcoming Ryder Cup from our friends at MyBookie. Before you tell us about MyBookie, Scotty Scheffler had another great year. He's $2 million away from joining Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy as the only guys to earn $100 million or more on-course winnings only.
Yeah.
So Nicklaus and them didn't get there. Scheffler's $2 million away from joining that group.
And he won the FedEx Cup, as you would imagine, the season-long points race.
He would have been in.
No, I was saying, no, he didn't win the FedEx Cup.
No, but if he did, he would have been in over the million. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's a stupid system. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to point out on the money, Justin Thomas have a good year?
No, not by his standards.
He got named to the Ryder Cup today.
He did.
Justin Thomas, $10.9 million in on-the-course earnings this year.
Mm-hmm.
Sepp Straka won one time.
Yeah, but he had an excellent year, though, now.
$10.7 million in earnings.
Birmingham resident Sepp Straka.
Yeah, so a couple of virtually $11 million just in winnings this year, guys, who were not named Scotty Scheffler. Pretty good to be a golf guy.
Different money now, thanks to Liv, Tiger Woods, TV contracts, a lot of things. The United States is minus 137, Lance. Europe is plus 131, now that we know the teams. At mybookie.ag, tell me what I take from that. Minus 137.
Is Tommy Fleetwood on the European team?
Yeah, I mean, you're just a slight favorite. Right
so the U.S. is a slight favorite, so it's a pretty tight match.
Basically home court
advantage. It would be a 3-point favorite in football.
Okay, so it's like a field goal favorite. That's kind of what I was getting at there. So it's about like being a field goal favorite in football.
Neither team is dormied yet, Brownie.
They are not, Jim. They are not. You could play that at MyBookie, mybookie.ag, code next round. When you sign up at mybookie.ag, when you're going to get code next round at mybookie.ag, you're going to get that bet back bonus. What is that, you ask? Well, you make your first bet ever there at mybookie.ag. They are going to cover that bet for you up to $500. You lose it, $500 right back into your account. Do with it whatever you want. Fire down again at mybookie.ag. It is that simple. That is a bet back bonus. that is going to be massive for you. That's when you use code NEXTROUND, signing on at MyBookie.ag. I just gave you Ryder Cup odds. You can play the upcoming Week 1 of college football, which starts tomorrow. You can play NFL Week 1. You can play futures. All of it is right there at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND for that $500 bet back bonus. Code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh? Because I look good.
You
I
look
smell good. I feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh, well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This first story, this is hard to believe. Will Smith has been accused of sharing a video that uses AI for shots of crowds cheering at his current summer tour.
Oh, I can believe it.
This gets more and more embarrassing, though. The Hollywood rapper kicked off the UK leg of his Based on the True Story tour in Scarborough on Sunday in support of his recent album of the same name. Now, ahead of the concerts, video was shared from his official YouTube channel titled, quote, "My favorite part of the tour is seeing you all up close. Thank you for seeing me too." Now, in the past week, the clip has been gaining attention as viewers claim it makes heavy use of AI for footage that seemingly shows his adoring fans crying and waving homemade signs.
They didn't AI in a cancer survivor, did they? Boy, that is...
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is, Brown.
Yeah.
If you look at the text here on the sign,
Uh-huh.
it looks super wonky, and that is a good telltale of
Okay.
AI being used.
I told you it gets
faces here,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
probably some extra fingers here.
More disturbing as you go on. Now, some shots show audience members' faces appearing blurred or distorted, while others seem to have oddly shaped hands, some of which have six figures. Another shot shows a man's knuckle appear to blur along with his sign, which reads, as you see right there, "You can make it. Help me survive cancer. Thanks, Will." Meanwhile, a woman in front of him is seemingly holding his hand, but the headband of the woman behind her is somehow over her wrist.
Now, several people in the chat room are saying, why are we blowing past the fact that Will Smith is touring? That is also...
He's been on a big tour lately, going on podcasts and different outlets that let you freestyle.
Yeah.
And it honestly seems like he's trying to degrade himself or something. It is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
I don't mind Will Smith, and I've watched Will Smith movies I very much enjoy.
No, I like
But if
Will
Will
Smith.
Smith was doing a concert in my backyard, I'd
Yeah.
close the blinds and tell him to hold it down. I mean, I got zero interest
I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Please get this man out of
That's
here.
right. I mean, what are we doing here?
Released his first album in over 20 years based on a true story this past March.
But you guys are making it sound like Will Smith needs money and will one day be in a commercial where he's singing "Going Back to California Kitchen" or something like that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if he needs the money.
I don't think Will Smith needs the money. I think it's.
That's
I think
even
he
more.
still
I
is
don't know
trying
about
to rehab the image from the Oscar night, the slap on Chris Rock.
It's that too.
Yeah.
Just in a minute and 10 seconds, I got a animated version of a crowd cheering on the next round.
Hey, well, send that out, man. That makes us look
Did
good.
Forrester send it to you?
No, I just did it right now. Yeah.
Did you do that on Grok?
No, I just did it on Chat GPT.
Oh. Do we appear in it, or is it just crowd?
Just crowd.
Nope.
It's not about us, Brown. It's not about
the crowd, not the panel. It's the crowd.
Yep.
So Winchester authorities wrote on Facebook that officers had been in, quote, hot pursuit on Friday afternoon to chase an unusual horned suspect. Chief Travis Thompson of the Winchester Police Department in Kentucky said on Facebook around 3 p.m. on Friday that a string of calls had led officers being sent to chase a goat who had been spotted on the city streets.
A longhorn goat, too.
Things rambling a little bit. Now, law enforcement repeatedly adapted to the animal and got help from a civilian to catch him. Quote, "I'm happy to report that he was safely turned over to the animal shelter to hopefully find his owner and get back to where he belongs," police said on their Facebook post.
I mean, if you're a servant of the law, I guess this is better than like chasing a murder suspect. I was going to say this has got to be the crappiest part of your job, but I'd way rather chase.
No, this has got to be fun.
Yeah, this is way better than somebody's got a gun and I'm worried about them shooting me.
It's a sleepy looking town.
It is. a little piece of Americana. I bet they got
it shut down.
No, I guarantee you they got a meat and three somewhere in this photo that is just fantastic.
I believe it.
Or once was, and everybody in town's like, when Pop owned it, yeah, that's when he really wanted to go.
The
but
kids
now
have let that go to hell in the
yeah,
handbasket.
they just use pre-canned and all that stuff.
I understand people trying to save money, 100%. I don't understand people trying to save money when it comes to eyes, teeth, anything to do with your body, right? A Pinellas County woman behind bars after police say she performed dental work without a license, leaving victims in pain and in need of emergency care.
Yeah, dental work, you're going to go to the pro on that one.
Investigators said Emily Martinez, right here, advertised on social media as a veneer technician, promised smile makeovers. Instead, clients were left with infections, damaged teeth, and hefty bills to fix the harm. Customers met Martinez at the Tap In Beauty Bar in Pinellas Park, where she offered full-mouth veneer treatments for a fraction of what they cost at a licensed dental office. Yeah. But officers said the procedure was far from professional. According to investigators, Martinez used crazy glue to attach fake veneers. Quote, she is not licensed to put in veneers. She has no schooling to do veneers. And in the state of Florida, obviously you have to be licensed to do any kind of work like that, according to the Pinellas Park Police Department. According to arrest warrants, at least some of her victims did not know Martinez did not have a license, then confronted her about it. Two separate customers reported Martinez to the Pinellas Park Police after experiencing pain, infections, and complications several days or weeks after the procedures.
Okay, I hate it for them, but if you went to a dentist at the Tip You Beauty Bar and you're like, well, I didn't know she wasn't a licensed dentist, I'm like...
Oh, and when I smell crazy glue... I think
you did, yeah.
Hey, what are you doing with that crazy glue?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, this is on these people. I mean, this girl ought to go behind bars, there's no doubt. But, I mean, you made a dumb decision at this point. I don't assume... It doesn't matter what it says before beauty bar. Anything that has beauty bar in the title, it's not a licensed dentist.
Yeah, sadly, some had to undergo emergency dental work in order to save their teeth. While real veneers cost between $900 and $1,500 per tooth. Yeah. Police say Martinez charged one victim $2,500 for the entire mouth.
Luckily, nobody died. I mean, just having that poison in your mouth there, the glue, the crazy glue.
Now, this is not the first time Martinez has faced charges for the crime. Records show she was arrested in March on a warrant for unlicensed dental work. Despite the arrest, police say she continued to operate on different victims that started coming forward in June and July.
I've got two fake teeth. I guess you call them veneers. I got two veneers.
Yeah, I got veneers.
My front two on the top. My biggest teeth, my rabbit teeth, are there because of a gym hockey incident on the day. I remember the day, not because of the catch between the Cowboys and San Francisco, but because earlier in the day we were playing gym hockey and I knocked both of my teeth out and then watched that game. Waiting to go to the dentist the next day.
Yeah, I had a mishap on stairs.
Yeah, I've heard that story. Yeah. I think I've heard that story before.
Yeah. Wooden hockey stick. Remember, I was sliding to block the goal in a meaningless
Jimmy
game.
Hero.
Yep, at Camp Branch Civic Center.
Yeah.
Hockey stick in the face.
Yeah. I got two crowns. One's in the very back and one's in the front.
But they had to extract the tooth?
Well, the front one got knocked out. The back one, yes, they had to extract the tooth. Had some issues with that one.
Mine are whittled down to pegs and then...
When I first saw this story last week, I thought it was fake because Steak and Shake went after Cracker Barrel so hard about this logo thing. I didn't believe it was true. But it looks like the tribe has spoken and Cracker Barrel is apparently listening because the restaurant chain said it's ditching the new logo design that caused all the outrage and backlash. Cracker Barrel just announced they are switching back to the original logo, explaining, quote, we said we would listen and we have. Our new logo is going away and our old timer will remain.
Brilliant marketing by this person, knowing that the country would get outraged over something, get all these commercials, and then boom, welcome back.
So you think this is New Coke Classic?
Why not?
The urban legend.
When's the last time you talked about Cracker Barrel at all?
I never think about Cracker Barrel. I cannot believe the outcry that this has gotten.
Oh, I do.
By people. No, people will outcry over it. That's what I'm saying. The stuff that people get wound up about constantly blows me away on both sides.
I had not heard about it until I turned on my YouTube TV one day, and it was like nonstop coverage on Fox News about it.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe Steak and Shake what they released, how they went so heavy after Cracker Barrel. Now, the logo change ditched Uncle Herschel, the old white man sitting on the chair next to the barrel, in favor of what they describe a more modern and more bland look. Very modern, or very, very bland, I should say.
Yeah, I'm tired of all these companies just getting rid of every bit of iconography they've had for, years and years and years, and it's just like, all right, what are we going to do? All right, script font of the company name on a plain background. That's it. Don't do anything.
You know how quick Dunaway just made our AI crowd shot? Somebody did that one fast.
Yeah, look, I'm all about simplicity, but when you've got iconic logos, let them roll. Now, Cracker Barrel, this well-known logo since 1977.
Okay, if I had said, give me 50 great American iconic logos,
I don't think
you wouldn't have made it down to Cracker Barrel.
No, I'm with you.
Most of you don't think about Uncle Herschel and the barrel beside the Cracker Barrel if you were thinking about their logo initially.
It's not even saying that this is more iconic than another. I just don't like
I'm just saying I don't understand why they would go from that to that.
The modern,
that's all I'm saying.
sleek logo.
I don't care. I haven't eaten at a Cracker Barrel in 25 years.
Yeah. I never knew that was Uncle Herschel. I loved his breakfast. I got it every time.
No, is that why? Is it because it is a cracker in Uncle Herschel and he's on the barrel? Is that what it is?
I don't think so.
Is that why they pulled it away?
No.
You used to have crackers that would be in barrels.
Is that really what it was?
When you would go into a country store. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They got a good chicken and dumplings.
But that is a cracker on a barrel.
It is. They got good chicken and dumplings there.
They do.
I don't know if you ever
never get that.
You've never had their chicken and dumplings?
No.
Do you like chicken and dumplings?
Sure I do. I like them when they're homemade, not Cracker Barrel made.
When's the last time you had homemade chicken and dumplings?
My mother-in-law used to make them.
My wife used to make them.
How do you know that you don't like them if you haven't had them?
At Cracker Barrel?
Yes.
Because I've never had them. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying I don't like them because I've never had them. I'm just saying you asked me, do I like chicken and dumplings?
You said I like them when they're homemade, not Cracker Barrel made. I'm just saying you ought to try them at least. Tyler, you agree, don't you?
That implied that he had tried Cracker Barrel dumplings and didn't like
it. But you like their chicken and dumplings at Cracker Barrel.
They're
very good.
When you go to Cracker Barrel, I go, when I've been, I haven't been in, God, it's probably 20 years. When I go, it's been more recent than that. My mom and dad used to love to go to the one in Calera.
The Cracker Barrel?
Yeah. Was breakfast when you're driving on the interstate, because you'd see a sign if you wanted to sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'd get Uncle Herschel's breakfast, I think it was, and occasionally on a football road trip when we were trying to save money. Forrester's been there before, TV days. You're trying to save money and you're trying to get the satellite truck operator, the photographer, and yourself to agree on a place to eat. And now it's Chick-fil-A, but back then, if you wanted to sit somewhere, Cracker Barrel was always a safe place that fit everybody's budget. Did you ever eat at a Cracker Barrel?
Absolutely. That and we had some Logan's.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Church youth trips. If you were like a youth group on a church, you'd hit a Cracker Barrel because it's a big place. You can park the bus there. Bus driver eats free.
So at night, I would get the chicken fried steak, I think it's called, or chicken fried chicken.
They have a country fried steak and a chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak.
Do you know anybody that's gotten a cold beer there? Because I know they've been serving beer for years and years, and I haven't been there since they have beer and mimosas, maybe?
That's what makes no sense to me.
Something about drinking at Cracker Barrel just feels sad.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
It feels wrong.
It just feels weird.
That's what makes no sense to me, that you've got this family-oriented place with all the knickknacks outside and the kid-friendly jigsaw puzzle inside. Oh, but here's a cold beverage.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe it make more sense if it was moonshine.
If they serve
with
the beer,
just the culture.
They could do the beer in the glass mason jar. Yeah.
That is Trash Today. Brought to you in part by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, where you can get the best meal around. It's Uncle Sterling. Go get that special at Uncle Sterling's. He still sits outside in his rocking chair.
Leaned on a barrel.
Uncle Sterling right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. I tell you all the time about the chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order. I like the two big breasts and the sides and the sweet tea. His tea's really good. I always get the Diet Coke, though. But I'm told Megan's Margaritas are to die for there. If you want one of those before summer gets away, happy hour every day at 5. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken. champyschicken.com. Final thought before we get out of here. Blake Horvath Navy quarterback, one of the best in the country this year, right?
I mean, in that offense, yeah. I mean, I think he's going to put up big numbers. And again, I think he is a dark horse sleeper for the Heisman.
Dark horse sleeper for the Heisman. Did not get an NIL raise after a great season last year. Still making the same exact NIL money last year as he is this year.
How much?
That's a zero. You can't make it at the service academy.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Do you feel sort of bad if you're these other quarterbacks?
I mean, I don't feel bad if I'm Ben, but
and poor Blake's
that does suck for Blake.
Yeah. Zero NIL money for the military guys, including Blake, who's a Heisman candidate. There you go. That's our show. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Are we kicking off a new special show tomorrow afterwards, handicapping the weekend?
We are.
Right after the show, 12 noon tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Tomorrow at 12:05, a new show. Do you know about it, Tyler?
No.
Okay.
Nobody does.
We'll tell you about it. It's only 24 hours away. Can't wait, because it's going to be one of my favorite things to talk about. Picks on the weekend. We'll tell you more about it tomorrow. Until next time, God bless America.